Thank you for joining us. This is Legal Matters. Mr. Michael Alpha, good morning to you. Wherever you are, we thank you for your continued support, and we appreciate your support over the years. May the Lord Almighty God bless you and your household. Share the program for us as soon as you join us. This is a warm-up. We're bringing you the legal matters and the Empire Mississippi Day a big job. Warm up with me. Yes. As soon as you join us, share the program for us. Yes. Today, we have a lot for you. You'll be surprised. Some of the information that we'll be bringing out today. Share the program for us as soon as you join us. Warm up. Yes, the lips of the righteous who preaches the many. Share the program for us as soon as you join us. Education is infinity. We can never stop learning. It does not matter if you have British passport or not, because today I've got some statistics for you. People who British citizenship is being stripped away from them. We are here for the statistics that as long as you are not born British, as long as your parents are not British, watch out this space. Watch the space. Brought to you by Justice and Law Solicitors of Unit 35B 49 Efra Road, Brixton, London, SW21BZ. Mami Ama Aduma, I greet you, sir or madam. Yes, as soon as you join us, one share a day will keep ignorance away. Yes, and what do we have for you today? It's going to be a very, very interesting program today because so much is going on in this country. And as soon as there is any update, I think it is right that we come here and tell you exactly what is going on. If there is any lessons to be learned, then of course we can do what we can learn from it. Today I am going to be looking at, these are the areas that I will do my best and cover. Last week we did a bit about domestic violence, what amounts to domestic violence. And also what I did not cover was the documentation or the requirement that the victims of domestic violence will need in order to make a successful application as a victim of domestic violence. So we will be talking about that as well. And the second one is also we'll be talking about withdrawal, variation, and validation of application. It is important, and I'm gonna sort of give practical examples because there is this vacuum, or in law we will call it the lacuna. There is this vacuum that I really need to advise people about, because there is that temptation to play smart. And this country, if you try to play smart without being clever, your fingers are going to get banged. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to have to also talk about this gap or this lacuna. I have a client who, who was in this situation, and therefore we have to play safe to make sure that her documentation is safe. So we did that for this person. Not only that, good news for care workers. Once again, finally, the announcement has been made that from February, that is next month, 2022, care workers are going to be added to the shortage occupational list. That would then mean that it will be a bit more easier for employers who have got sponsorship license to, if you like, to employ people within the care sector. Also, it will make it arguably a bit easier for organizations to recruit from the outside the United Kingdom. Yesterday, one lady who listened to our program that we're doing called, and I, basically referred her back to the program that we did, and for her to follow the instructions. I will say this once again, once we finish the program, because 24 hours is not long enough for me. You will be surprised. The amount of pressure that comes on me and the time that I need to sort people out, the time is simply not there. So when we finish a program and people keep calling for top up, they disrupt us. Those people who are in genuine need of our services find it very, very, very difficult, to reach me. And it's not fair on those people who are prepared to pay money for our services. So it's for this reason that we come here every Saturday to try and give it for free. So please, all those people who keep calling after the show during our office time to keep asking questions about something that we've already covered, we beg you, please, if you need the information, go back and make time and listen to the audio so that it will free up some space for us during the course of the week to do the work for those people who are loyal and considerate enough to pay for our services, so that we can also provide our services to them because they pay for it. Because if you're not prepared to pay and you are ringing us during our office time, which is a paid service, it leads to a bit of confusion and a bit of, sometimes disappointment. Because now our secretaries will simply not pass the phone to me because someone is on the phone. We have had so many experiences where people are even collecting consultation money from others on the pretense that they are coming to pay it to the lawyer and get the advice for them. We are aware of all these things. So basically, you are taking liberties out of the person and you are taking liberties out of the lawyer on the basis that I am an existing client and therefore I don't have to pay for any of the services anymore. Unfortunately, we cannot run a business like that. And as a result, in the past, we have overlooked some of these things, but this is 2022. We cannot continue doing that. And for that reason, if we choose to waive our consultation, it will be up to us to do it. So we beg to differ. No one does that. And for that reason, I think it's important that I also express this sentiment on here in this public platform, because sometimes people find it difficult to understand or to pay for a service. And as we all know, legal services are not free. Even legal aid that is supposed to be free is not free because the government pays the lawyer for his service. So you'll be looking a bit about, consultation fees and what it means. Consultation is not for life. Consultation is for the time that the lawyer will spend on you and to give you the advice. It's a one-off payment that you pay. So for example, if you come to me to apply for indefinite leave to remain and that contract is completed successfully, if you want to bring your brother, you want to bring your sister, or maybe your partner to come to the UK, it's a different contract. You cannot then say that I am an existing client. I have basically come to see you before. You have done my case for me before. So if you're doing my sister's case, that one too have to be free. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. In the past, we have decided to overlook certain things. But it seems to us, some people are being too smart and being clever. They think they are. By taking money from people upon the pretense that, oh, let me go and see the lawyer for you. And we've had people who are coming to see us and they bring someone else. And then when they bring that person, the person keeps asking questions. Sometimes you don't want to cause embarrassment. So out of respect and to avoid embarrassment, you tend to sometimes overlook these things. So, but the more you're overlooking it, the more people are taking liberties out of the situation. So these days, you come to our office, our secretaries are very, very professional. If you are not the one coming to seek the advice, they will ask you to sit at the reception area. This is to avoid embarrassment being caused. Because if you allow someone to tag along, the person doesn't come and pay for the service, and the person keeps asking questions, the person is going to eat into someone's time. And these are causing problems for us. But when you try to explain it to your brother, man, sometimes some people refuse to understand. And what they will do is that they will then start throwing abuse at you. It's not nice. Those people who do that, we beg you, stop it. It is not nice for you to abuse anyone for providing a service to genuine people, to help people. Because there are people out there who actually need our help. So if you don't need our help, by all means, this is a free country. You'll be able to do whatever you want. There are other places that you can go. If you are going to get it the way you want it, so be it. Good luck to you. But those people who are loyal to us, we have to be loyal to them. We have to invest in them as well. And there are so many ways of doing investment. We can invest our time in those people so that when they call us, we can be there for them. That is what is called loyalty. So I beg you, work with us so that we can work with you. Justice and law, we have so many loyal clients. They are looking for us. Sometimes they don't find us, but they don't give up on us. Since they are loyal and they want to basically, they want us to do work for them, they will always come back to us and we will always make sure that we deliver. And all those people who keep referring clients to us, we will forever be grateful to you. Because I always say this, it is not easy to refer someone to anyone. Why is that the case? Because if the person have a bad experience, the person is going to come to you, the person who made the referral. Sometimes it may not be true, sometimes it may be true. However, the fact that you made the referral, if it goes wrong, they're going to blast you. And if it goes right, sometimes they will not even bother to tell you. That is human nature, but that is also part of life. So all that I say is this: all those people who refer to us, who make referrals, we will do the best that we can to make sure that the referral is justified. And all that I say to people is this: do not judge anyone based on opinions of others. Judge people based on your own experience. Why am I saying this? Because there are people out there, their aim, their job, they are enemies of progress. They don't want to see prosperity. They don't want to see people prosper. And as a result, when God Almighty is lifting man, they will do their best to bring them down. But he who shall bless, no one cares. And therefore, it is very, very important that, we all do the best that we can to help people in need. If you have a brother, if you have a sister who is experiencing difficulties, who is having immigration problems, then of course, you need to direct them to a trusted place, someone who will be able to help them to achieve their immigration goal. So it's very, very, very important that we all do the best that we can. If you are referring someone, refer someone to a credible place, such as justice and law solicitors, because we aim to deliver and we aim to ensure that the journey that people set out, we help them to achieve that objective, i.e., whatever is in their sight, whatever they want to achieve. It's for that reason that justice and law, we keep investing in what we do in all ways. And I believe that through the Spirit of the Most High, we will always do the best that we can and deliver to people. One thing that I will also say is this: justice and law, the way we do things, sometimes you have to change the way we do things. Like I said, I have known about a case that someone has actually collected a consultation fee from someone else on the basis that he is coming for the consultation for the person. When he came to justice and law solicitors, the same person is telling us that he's an existing client, so he's not supposed to pay the consultation fee. But God being so good, whilst he was right in front of me, the person who was supposed to come for the consultation gave me a call. Oh, lawyer, I was supposed to come with my brother today. I could not come today. However, when I called, your secretary was so polite. She explained the process to me. And she told me that I'll have to pay a consultation fee. So I have given the consultation to my brother that when he comes, he should pay the consultation. And this is the person who was sitting in front of me, claiming that he's not supposed to pay the consultation fee because I've done his work in the past. His work is different from his brother's work. The secretary explained this to this person. The person understood it in a respectable way, and the person agreed to it. But when he came to before me, he is trying to argue his way to pocket someone's 80 pounds. So in this scenario, the person is trying to use his head to cheat his brother and to cheat the lawyer. This is not a clever way of doing things, and this is not an honest way of doing things. This is pure theft. It's daytime robbery. This is what some people subjected themselves to. So when you hear some of these stories, when some of these stories happens in your face, of course, only a fool does not change his mind. We have to go back to our policies and the way we do business. And we also have to adapt and change the way we consult business. Because no law firm in this land that you can go to them and say that I paid my consultation fee 8 years ago, so I am coming again for consultation and I don't need to pay. Why should I pay? Because you are my lawyer. I am an existing client. Today, I'm going to take my time and explain this so that the confusion stops, so that people who refuse to understand will get the message. People who want to come to us will come to us. And people who would rather go somewhere else and pay the consultation to someone else, they can also go there and pay you to someone else, because anywhere that you go, and your common practice within our industry, that when you come and see the lawyer for the first time on a case, you will pay your consultation. So this is how it works. So let's say John has got an immigration problem. John wants to apply for leave to remain as a spouse. John will come to see Lawyer Darko. For the first time, Lawyer Darko will charge John a consultation fee. Once the consultation fee is paid, then the lawyer will advise John and give John a list of documents where he needs to get ready in order to apply for leave to remain as a spouse. While John comes to see the lawyer to do the application, there is going to be a contractual obligation between John and Justice and Law solicitors. So Justice and Law will agree to undertake a piece of work for John, i.e. John's aim is to get leave to remain as a spouse. So the lawyer will then give a promise or a contract with John. They'll go into a contract and say, John, this is what you aim to achieve to get leave to remain as a spouse of a settled person. We are happy to do that job for you to achieve your aim. So therefore, the lawyer will set out what the job entails by way of a client care letter. The aim is to submit the application to the Home Office to get your leave to remain. So the lawyer, Justice and Law, we will make the application. Once John gets his leave to remain after the Home Office have made the decision, that contract is finished. Justice and Law, we have a policy that our lawyer clients, our existing clients, when they come for an extension of their stay, we will not charge them a consultation fee. So if you are our existing client and we are continuing your application, if someone tells you that let me go and seek advice for you for a consultation fee, is a lie. Our policy is that once you are a client and you have shown loyalty to us, we have to repay back. And therefore, when it comes to the extension, we will not charge you consultation fee again. When you call for the extension and you want a list of documents, I will emphasize on this. Please, whoever picks up the phone, it does not only have to be Lawyer Darko. People that I work with, they are trained. So basic information such as, oh, lawyer, I need a list of documents for my extension. You don't need Lawyer Darko to send you that. If you speak to my assistant, either Secretary Amy or Erica or Kevin, they will be able to take that information and send it over to you. By doing that, it does what? It speed up the process. By doing that, it free me time to be able to attend to, I would say, emergency cases. Typical example, Enofosua, she called the office. When she called the office, the lawyer was in a meeting. Okay, this is what I want done. Is this something that you could help me with? No problem. Situation is solved. But if you say that you are waiting until you get the lawyer to send you a list of documents, it will waste your time. It will waste the lawyer's time. So there are certain things that they are basic. Because if a secretary is sitting there and the secretary cannot simply send you a list of documents, which is already prepared for you to get those stuff ready to extend your visa, then in my view, what is the point of the secretary? Because if the secretary cannot give you this basic information, and I'm paying a secretary to do this job, and she is not doing it, then what is the point of having the secretary? Sometimes it may not be the secretary's fault, because some people sometimes unnecessarily try to be a bit difficult, which is unnecessary. All that we ask, we plead that, we have to be civil to anyone that pick up the phone. Let's show that person respect. Because for me, if you disrespect my secretary, you are disrespecting me big time, because the secretary represents the company. So if the secretary is offering to help, and for example, you say, don't worry, I'm going to call him on his private number, please, you are disrespecting the secretary. And all that I say to anyone that will listen, I don't have any private number. All that you need to do is to call this number that I always leave here. If you call that number, if I am busy, at least someone will pick. I have come across cases whereby someone has given a different number to a potential client who is not even justice and law, to a different number to a potential client. But God being so good, the person was driving all the way from Harlow. As the person was driving, the person called the number, the person gave my potential client a postcode. As he was driving down, the postcode was taking him to East London. And in his mind, he started thinking, hold on, Lawyer Darko is in southwest of London, which is Brixton. So how can the postcode and the TomTom be taking me to East London? This is not making sense. He called the person again. Are you Lawyer Darko? The person said yes. And what was happening? The person gave this man a postcode in East London again. And the person, being clever, thought, hold on, this is not making sense. I know Brixton is southwest London, but the postcode keep telling me to go to East. Okay, let me do a search online. The person did a search. Our number came up again. The person called the number. I pick up the phone and I said, well, I'm in the office waiting for you. And he was like, your office, is it in southwest London or East London? And I told the person, my office is in southwest London, it's in Brixton. And the person asked, did I speak to you this afternoon? I said no. The person repeated the number. Is this your number? I said, I don't know anything about this number. At that point, then we realize that sometimes people want to use your name to do evil. And I thank God that the person was able to use his intelligence and the person was able to come to Brixton. As I speak to you now, the person is holding British passport. So all that I say to you is this. In every word, in everything that we do, you are going to have fakeness in it. You are going to have people, pretenders in it. So please, if anyone gives you any number, apart from the number that I'm going to recite, and I'm going to put the number on the screen, on the comment section on Facebook, I beg, do not call any other number, because any other number that you are given is not my number. When you build up a reputation and a good name, people want to use your name to eat. And even if they are going to go about it the right way and do things right, at least they will do what? They will not damage your brand, but they will do the best that they can to damage your brand in some ways. Unfortunately, within our communities, we have enemies of progress. There are people who cannot stand progress. But that one is their own problem. But all that I say is this. Let's do the best that we can. Those who are interested in progress, those who are interested, who want to see something good happening, those who want to refer people to us for us to do a better job for them. All that I say is please, 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 let them be aware of what is going on, what people are trying to do to sabotage us in some ways. But I always believe through the Spirit of the Most High, when the enemy set up a trap, the Lord Almighty God opened our eyes in some ways to counter it. And sometimes, you see it, you have to do something about it before a damage is done in your name. So I beg you, if you are listening to me and someone give you a number, apart from these numbers that I have just posted on the comment section, do not give any other number to anyone, please, because that is not my number and it's got nothing to do with me. If you take a risk and you go and take any other number apart from the numbers that I have put down, I am distancing myself and my company from any other number that you are given, apart from the numbers that I have put up, which is on the screen, which is 07538 969 589 or 0207 993 5976. That is our office number. We can take 8 calls at the same time. If you call and the number is engaged, do not be worried. Keep trying. If you call, you are unable to get me, please simply send a quick text message. Lawyer Darko, I'm trying to reach you. I couldn't get you. This is what it's about. If you get a chance, could you call me back, please? When we know what the issue is and we can help, by all means, at some point, we will call you back. I will say because of the good works that we are doing this week, in fact, from last week, the number of calls, the number of referrals, the number of appointments that are coming is beyond beyond me. I am surprised about it. And I always say this. The kindness of strangers is something that I will always cherish. People who do not know me from Adam to Eve, but yet they have the confidence in me to keep referring people to justice and law solicitors. And it's not only justice and law, it's not only Ghanaian community. Justice and law, now we have so many clients from all area of the globe. We have people from Trinidad and Tobago. We have people from St. Lucia. We have people from Jamaica. We have people from the United States of America. We have Australians. We have English. We have British. We have Ghanaians. We have Nigerians. We have Togos, Gambia, Senegal, you name it. Seychelles. We have clients all over. So when you call our office and we are speaking English, it's not that we are arrogant and we don't want to speak Chi, because we have international clientele and it keeps growing through the spirit of His Most High. It's beyond me, a boy from Ashtown. Not in a million years did I think that I can even become a lawyer. I grew up with no hope in the world. From Ashtown, all that we think about is that either you become a drug dealer or you become an armed robber. We were not given a chance. Not in a single day did I think I could become a lawyer. But today is a testimony to the Almighty God that someone from the ghettos of the ghettos can raise up to become a lawyer in the United Kingdom, and not just a lawyer, but one of the best lawyers in this country. And I testify this in the name of God, that the impossibility is always possible. Where the devil wants to tarnish you is where the Lord Almighty God will raise you. And he who shall bless, I say, no one cares. Believe in the impossibility. Believe in your goals and keep focusing on the possibilities. It looks impossible until you can make it possible. And we keep fighting. We are making differences in people's lives, and we will keep fighting because we believe that through operation of the law, we can do what? We can achieve justice. We can make difference in people's lives. That is what I set out to do. I never want to become a lawyer. And I always say this. I went to university. I did not even know what I wanted to do. When I went to university, I did criminology and criminal justice studies. Through that I find myself that I am interested in law. So it is not by might or by will that I'm sitting here today talking about law. And it is not my might or my will that I choose to study law. But when God has a path for you, regardless of what you're trying to do, that is exactly what you will do. And for me, I believe that this is what God put me on this earth to do law and to help people who are vulnerable. We all know, at least we have heard about the story of Jonah. God sent him. He didn't want to go. And the Bible tells us that the whale have to swallow him and take him there. So sometimes it's not by might. It's not your might. But when God sent you and said, this is your mission, this is what I want you to do, no matter what excuses that you come up with, no matter how you do to run away from it, if that is your call, that is exactly what you're going to do. For me, this is my call. This is my destiny. This is what I was put on earth to do. And I have no choice. I have to fulfill the word. I have to fulfill the word of my master. So we thank you very much for tuning in. And I hope that all this will be taken in good faith. And I also believe that this will empower you and encourage you in some way. And I will take this opportunity, Madam Kate Owusu-Donko. I wish you all the best and good morning to you. And thank you for all your referrals and for all the testimonies. You have referred so many people to me. And all the time, we make sure that the referral is justified. We will make sure that anyone that you refer, that anyone refer, we will do our best for them to ensure that the reason why they came to us, they leave our door with laughter. And I wish you well, and I thank you for all your support over the years. Today, last week, we talked about domestic violence. And today, I'm going to talk about part 2 of domestic violence. But before that, I want to take this opportunity to give you a bit about immigration update, so that we can all know what is going on. And also, when it comes to domestic violence, even if you're a holder of British passport, you've got to be very, very careful. If you're abusing someone psychologically or physically, you also have to be very, very careful. Today, we will also be talking about variation of leave. Variation of leave is very, very, very important, because we have some of our brothers and our sisters who fall within the gap, which I will call the lacuna. I will explain it when we get there. And what they need to do in order to make sure that their paper is secured. Because there is always that temptation to try to play smart. And in this country, if you play smart without being clever, trust me, you're going to find yourself in a mess. So I will advise you practically and what you need to do, the best thing that you need to do to make sure that you are sorted. So justice and law, when we come here, it's not just about talking about the law. We also talk about practicality. Practical, what you should do, what should happen. You understand? So it's very, very important. We are not here talking about the law. We are also here to advise people. So many people are facing domestic abuse and domestic violence. The worst of all is people who play a bit of a role in someone's life when they are coming to the UK or when they come to the UK. The abuse sometimes is ridiculous. Some people pay in so many different ways. In this country, even if someone spend their time, a minute of their life on you, is something that you must appreciate. Because time has got value. If the person is charging you for his time, maybe that would have been enough to pay for the plane ticket that you bought for the person to come to the UK. Maybe in some cases, some people have done more than that. So the abuse and the domestic violence must stop. It's going on within our community too much. And sometimes when you stand for the truth, you will stand alone. When people lie, they get supporters to support them. It is part of life. And people need to realize this. So if you stand for the truth, be prepared to stand alone. Because human nature, we don't like the truth. Unfortunately, when people tell lies and gloss it, people believe in it. People appreciate that more than the truth. So if you want to stand for the truth, psychologically, physically, mentally, you have to be prepared to stand alone. Because that's the world that we live in. So today, we are going to be talking about domestic violence part 2, the evidence that you will need in order to make an application successfully. We'll be looking at that. And we'll be talking about validation, variation of leave, what you need to do if you want to vary your leave. Now, we all know that the Secretary of State, and we talked about this last week, a bill is going through Parliament that even if you are a British national, if it is passed through the House of Lords and it becomes a law, the government can take away your citizenship without even telling you, which is a very dangerous precedent. We are hoping that this does not happen. But unfortunately, the government has got majority in Parliament, and it is feared that one way or the other, this law, unfortunately, will come to bear on us. And what the law says, or what the bill says, is that if you are a British citizen and you can also obtain citizenship of another country, that would then mean if you commit a crime, or perhaps the UK government deemed that your presence in the UK is not conducive to the public good, that means your citizenship could be taken away from you without even notifying you, which is a very, very dangerous precedent. And therefore, there is a lot of opposition against this. But having the, what you call it, having a majority in Parliament, it is feared that this may pass. And organization, free movement, that Justice and Law Solicitors is part of, we have obtained under Data Protection Act, Subject Access Request, information from the Home Office about statistics about those whose citizenship have been taken away for the past 15 years. And I'm just going to go through these statistics so that our brothers and sisters who are watching, so that our brothers and sisters who are using immigration as an instrument of oppression, instrument of abuse, psychological, physical abuse on people that they are supposed to love, people that they live with, so that they can advise themselves. Having a British citizenship, having an indefinite, does not mean that you are above the law. If you break the law, you will face the consequences. Even now, the Prime Minister is begging for having parties in closed doors when we were in a lockdown. Look at what is happening to the Prime Minister. Even the Prime Minister, who is the prime on all of us, our leader, now he is begging for forgiveness. In this country, the law works. So we have to be very, very careful. In this country, the law works. When we are making disparaging comments about individuals, about their companies, you have to be very, very careful. Because if the individual strike and start defamation law, defamation action against you, start libel action against you, at the High Court, you will sweat blood. We ought to be very, very careful about our utterances, especially making of an odious and writing on Facebook, social media, making disparaging comments, unsavory comments based on pure truth, on truth, making comments because someone has given you 10 pounds to tarnish someone's image. If you do that and the person knows the law, the person will only take you through the law and strip you naked. So be very, very careful. So, what do we say? British citizenship, since 2007, about 15 years ago, this is what has been happening. A number of 464 people have lost their British citizenship since the law allowing this was relaxed 15 years ago. The number of people who have lost their citizenship is 464. Now, let's look at the breakdown. 175 of them were deprived of their British citizenship on national security grounds. They lost their citizenship because the government thought that they pose a risk to the UK and UK interests. So if you're holding a British citizenship, it is not a key to abuse the rights of individuals. It is not a key, a freedom pass to commit an offense. It can be taken away from you. Now, there's a bill in Parliament which is going to make it even more easier to take it off you. So you have to be very, very, very careful. The arrogancy that sometimes some of us show because they have British citizenship. The arrogancy sometimes that some of us show because we have leave to remain. Our brother and our sister does not have it, and therefore we don't respect them. The arrogancy that someone show because someone is in need. The arrogancy that some of us show because our papers are covering other people, and therefore they become a slave to their papers. It's very sad, but this is going on within communities. And therefore, even if you're holding the British citizenship, don't think that is enough. If you're holding a European passport and you have been granted leave to remain in this country, don't think that is enough to prevent you from being deported from this country if you break the law. If you're holding limited leave to remain and someone doesn't have any, don't think that is enough to abuse them. We ought to be very, very careful in our utterances in what we do. As we are saying, 175 people lost their citizenship since 2006, 2007. Also, 289 lost their citizenship on the basis of fraud. Fraud is a dishonesty offense, and when you are caught in this country, they don't joke with it. Fraud. So 289 for fraud, they lost their citizenship. 175 on the basis of national security and public safety, they have lost their citizenship. So if you are a brutal abuse, someone who is abusing someone on the basis of domestic violence, I beg you, change your lifestyle. Change your usubai, because when the law catches you, you will be shocked. You will be surprised. You may have leave today. The next day, you're not going to have leave. You will lose your citizenship. Now, the law is going to be relaxed. And I can tell you this. A lot of people are going to lose their citizenship based on domestic violence. I will say this. Domestic violence is a serious issue. The UK government take it very, 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 very serious. And I'm going to go on and give you more statistics. This is based on Freedom of Information. 2006 to 2010. People who lost their citizenship on the basis of fraud alone were 9 people. 2011, 6 people on the basis of fraud and also their safety in the UK not being public good. 6 people. 2012, 6 people. 2013, 18 people. 2014, 23 people. 2015, 19 people. 2016, 38 people. 2017, 148 people. 2018, 73 people. 2019, 82 people. 2020, 42 people. 2021, you are looking at 2021 is not out yet, but all the figures since 15 years ago, 2006, we've had about 467 people losing their citizenship. So we have to be very careful. People have also faced deportation because of their criminal conduct. So please, sometimes I always say this, some people are perpetrators of domestic violence. Some people as a result of ignorance. Some people as a result of maybe wickedness. Some people as a result of maybe stupidity. They do it without care. But if you are not careful and you are convicted, now the law is being made even more easier for people to be convicted of domestic violence. It's for this reason that I think it's very, very important that we come here and talk about this so that people who do not know will be aware of it so that they can change their behaviors. I'm not here to preach you, but I think and I hope the little that I am bringing to you today, it will go a long way to help you to change your behavior. Because when the Lord catches you, believe in me, there'll be no good. It's not easy, to be living in this country for some time. And all of a sudden, you are being told that you are facing deportation. It's not easy. So all that we ask, all that we say is that you need to change your ways, treat your brother man and your sister as another human being. Treat your brother and your sister the way you want yourself to be treated. Because life, what goes around, comes around. And therefore, what you do unto others is exactly what others will do unto you. People who think evil, live evil. People who think good will always live good. Aboa, kwakwa dobi, eye asonafo, enkraboa, lawyer dako, asonaba kwaku dako, meya asoneni. Mehutum, esmakumem, eye fita. Enuti na asonafo, omokraboa, eye mienu no. Eye asonawo, ne ho ofepa, ne tiko etise obi enim, ene kwakwa adobi. Sana asonafo, yetie. Entino, the mechanism, domestic violence, a very serious issue. I was say, yetimi addressing. See who say koswa. We must not sit there and say enfame. When we see domestic violence, we must all voice out. Say nipa ni betuni for yenye bold. Nipa nipa ni who say yes, it is not good enough. The way we are all treating nipa. And it's very important. We have to be aware of the signs of domestic violence. Say obekwa dam fufie no didi na yiratem na wote na wo sere na ye ofe ese obikunu kasa nanim rough ni nyina no bad, because if you cannot help to combat domestic violence, then don't encourage it in some ways. Say speak out against it so that people will change from their ways. It makes no sense, it makes no good that we see it and we don't voice out against domestic violence. It's a very serious issue. It always happens behind closed doors. And sometimes it can lead to serious consequences. We should not sit there for this to continue. We all have to play our role. So I will come deep into that. But before that, the next update is in relation to students. The courts only this week have made a finding in relation to those people who applied for indefinite leave to remain on time, and it was anticipated that a decision will have to be made within certain time. Those individuals may have applied for student loans. The student loan was not given to them on the basis that they did not have indefinite leave to remain when the academic year started. Some people are caught in this, and as a result, they were unable to start their course of study. A case has gone before the court, and the court has held that those who were eligible for indefinite leave and their home office guidance suggested that a decision would have been made within a certain time frame. And due to the pandemic and unnecessary delay that is going on at the home office, those people are entitled to a student loan. And the case is called Naeem against the Secretary of State. I will cut and paste it on the comment section. See, this education, no one is going to give you this education for free. But for the love of our people, we will give it for free because God Jah bless us in so many different ways. Like they say, the more you give, the more you get. So the case is called Naeem versus Secretary of State, Education 2022. This is a fresh case that I think will be beneficial to our brothers and sisters who are still at home and waiting for their indefinite leave to remain to be granted before maybe they go back to school. If you are waiting, get in touch with the student loan and quote this case that the court has made a decision that people like me who are entitled to indefinite, no true fault of my own, home office are taking longer to make a decision. Home office service standard suggested that if you make an application for indefinite, a decision will have to be made, as an example, maybe within 6 months. A decision has not been made, and it is not my fault that a decision has not been made. Should the Home Office have made the decision within a certain time frame, I would have been eligible. I would have qualified for indefinite leave to remain. On that basis, I beg you, give me my papers, i.e., give me my student loan. Show them that case. I believe it will help to, in a way, for you to get your student loan and start your course of study. That will help you big time. So I will say to you that is a hope. If you are going to apply for it now, then of course, then quote this case as well. All that you have to say is that I have applied for indefinite leave to remain. Home Office are meant to make a decision within maybe 2 months, according to their service standard. Go to their website and print it as well. However, they have not made a decision yet. There is a delay. So all that I will say to you is this. Quote this case or print this case out. Go to the Home Office website and print their standard service guidelines to show how long it's supposed to take them to make a decision. And when you are applying for your student loan, add it to say that they have not made a decision, but I qualify for indefinite. It's not my problem that they haven't made a decision. And therefore, for that reason, please give me my student loan. Baby Fire, I greet you. Good morning to you. So if you're able to do that, that will also help you big time. People are getting a rough deal as a result of delay from the Home Office. There is a lot of delay at the Home Office, and unfortunately, this is causing a lot of headache for a lot of people. So if you have an application at the Home Office today, I hate to say this, if your employer is is going to give you headache, then sometimes you need to consider making an application by using the fast track service. It's something that I never wanted to encourage people to do, but the way things are going now, it's a bit ridiculous. Things are getting, out of hand. And there's just too much delay at the Home Office. And some employers don't get it. Even when you tell them to go and do employment check, they don't want to know. And as a result, they are putting unnecessary pressure on a lot of people. It's very, very unfortunate, but that is what is going on these days. And I say to people, I say to you, that whilst Section 3C offers you protection, it's always important. I have to deviate a bit because I have spent this week, I spent about 10 hours of my time fighting employers on behalf of my client, because the employers, either through ignorance or sometimes through maybe, lack of knowledge, they don't want to understand, and it's making life difficult for lawyers. The time that we're supposed to be using to work and, making sure that people are helped, we are spending a lot of the time writing letters to employers and explaining the legal position to them. So today I'm going to take this opportunity to explain it to our listeners and also to our clients. And on this occasion, and especially in this particular segment, I'm going to try and do it in my local language, which is the Twi language, because for me, I think a lot of our people are suffering from this because they don't seem to understand, the implications of Section 3C leave. So if you are watching me now and you are non-Twi speaker, please forgive me, because I know a lot of people are listening to us. They are not Ghanaians. They are enjoying the program. I am getting positive feedback every week, every day, calling us, bringing clients to us, and that is making us busy. And busy is good, because now I beg our clients, our loyal clients, if you want to come and see us, try and book in advance, because now to get an appointment is taking about a month. And surprisingly, this week, the number of people who have called to book appointment is staggering. It's beyond me. This shows where the evildoers want to finish you through the Spirit of the Most High God. That is where God will keep lifting you. Believe in your God. Don't take vengeance, because vengeance is the Lord's. So it's very, very important. We are getting a lot of clients. We are getting busy. We are making busy. And it's good for our business. It's making our business progress in so many different ways. And we are also doing the best that we can to bring you the best. Now, as you can see, those people who have visited our office, we have undertaken serious refurbishment to make people more comfortable when they come to see us, to create an environment when people come there, they will feel at home. That is called investment and loyalty. Also, invest in your client. If they invest in you, you need to give something back to your communities. That is why we have so many mechanisms. We come in here, we have gifts that we give away. It's all part of the process to get people to know that we also appreciate what they do for us. And I know that a lot of people also appreciate what we do for them. Continue to support us, and we will also continue to do our best for you. This one, like I've already apologized. I mean, people are watching us, they may not understand, but I'll do it in my local language. And once I finish, I'll do the best and maybe give a summary in English, so that if you are also going through the same process, you can use the law to your advantage. Section 3C leave, in so many ways, so many times. Now, Section 3C leave, a legal fiction. I find extended visa. And when it say uwo visa bi a wodi ti kromu a ema wo kwan ema wutimi ediye adwuma. Se visa no ya bewu na se uye application for extension. Sa visa na ekita wo no emremu no, it is extended. And no any physical extension. Name a legal extension. In law, we call it the curtain rule. Because if something is going on behind a curtain, you don't see it. That does not mean it is not happening. And what it is, they say, Abia or visa. Visa no Abia 10th of February. Se visa ni 10th of February. It's here for me pamacho. Mentina ho emma visa ni enwu ansa. And say no be fellow yadako, I want to extend my visa. Se eba ne sana baby a oye adwuma no yetimi pamo se kotene fie anase yetimi yiwedi. Because oma o visa ni wi and say na oye de o kwakoye application for extension. Eba ne sana ebe how. Na emom yenim se ye visa ne ba be 20th of February no. Me advice of the man client nyina say o visa ba be wu a 2 months before say be wu no frɛ wo lawyer. Men train e matter mo nenso. Enti 2 months ama visa na be wu no frɛ lawyer da ako. O fra me secretary na befa. Ofa ka kire ne say o visa no aka 2 months ama na wu. Lawyer da ako say visa no aka 2 months ama na wu a me mfrɛ. Na me nje requirement no. Na me mboaboa me ho ano na me book appointment na me mra me hu mo before say visa de be wu. Senkani yie mu a home office guidelines ekire say eka 28 days ama visa ne wu a ana obeye another application. Lawyer Dako me say eja eso abodwe obi yonko abodwe sem a ment na ho fa wodie kopensuo nefa num mema ne men wo kra pensuo nanum nefa num enti me de ne say men twa ma 28 days no empo ema for application it within 2 months. Said yeah, a beko home office for system ni. Na se empo unya of reference number. You find unique application number na. By the time visa ni bewu anase eba bewu no. Se employer ni empo eko employment check service department one ma. By that time no. Say what the application need to move on time until no na eco home office system ni na eso enti ombe hu se eye ampa se o do application need to and send na visa de ba be enti eba ne sa na ema omoye de ema omutimi issue bibi e fe ne positive notification resource eno no ebe confirm se eye ampa se ni pay or the application to and send na visa de ba be. Enti ebade sana ye free bibi section 3C leave. Section 3C leave no essay. Se o de application kotum before so visa ne ba be wudia emremu no. You have the right to work, you have the right to stay in the UK until such time our home office for ebe make a decision. Yemfa say home office for make a decision po na say yamfa amawa. Ubetimi appeal. Tama appeal process na e koso nyina no. You have the right to work until such time that you exhaust all your appeal rights. Enti no, se unya sa entiasie we na se wokɔ adwuma mu. Na se wo de application atuma. Mesrew. Se adwumafo busa wo se visa ne ba be wu ejebe na oya afa ho a men ka say let me call my lawyer because ubehu lawyer no ugina ho ana the application ni too enti ese we ye bold now catch employer they say my application has been submitted eye psychology yentie die pa lawyer dakon adenti na make asasem we na adenti na men wo a we client no a wakofa lawyer no wonfa enipa ne ma wo lawyer sana bia adwene be ye wo. There is nothing wrong with that. Nemom, so who bold and can't say your human resources manager say, my application has been submitted. Now instead, what say lawyer Nemeka say your application has been submitted. It casts doubt in the mind of the human resources manager. Because ujina when the application is submitted. Now obusa say what submit your applications, me kobusa me lawyer. Eba ni sana e de doubt etu ni penitrim na afa nipa na tatao eba ni sana e de how anebeto so nemom if you are bold enough to tell the human resources manager, your line manager, of course my application has been submitted. I went to the lawyer and the application was submitted right in front of me. In fact, I've been given a letter which is, to go and do fingerprint on such and such and such a day. And this is the letter. This is my unique application reference number. If you are in doubt, call the home office and they will confirm to you that I have the right to work. Hey, we are bold. Now it's me face who manager this way. Who manager do trust. Name mom yebusa wasem. Na wu dwane. Na akoye say would BBAC. This is the problem. Unse obi pebonye dia ono anyina animo or the fo bi so. Sane wi asenete enti no oye ne sa pe ofi say would BBC. Enti no obeso lawyer ne betwitwachew. It's very, very important. I say we need to understand this. And to the Makachi for they say, Yambo your homoding, na yemfe application, yemfantum 2 months before service and bill. Now emre P nesosono, obi owa sika semunti. Visa near the mawa, amount 2.5 years. Uni pefe say 2.5 years time, ese we renew. E womu say ice cream seeker ain't mean to asasi. E wo mu se ice cream sika entimi nto asase saa so na enam sika entimi nto asase na emmom enkrata a yede mawo a wo begina so aye adwuma ama bonye sika edi biato ice cream edi biato nam awiegu oyam ne de ese utimi pe hu sika ese utimi tu hu susu na oye calculation na 2.5 years no a 30 months visa. And to the funny say 1 month biano ube save £100. And the time neighbor son now I save how much? £3,000. And the £3,000 no it drew wa it's me tia application fee no it's me tia immigration health surcharge fees and then it's me tia part payment of the lawyer's fee. Oya ne sana it drew wa enkofa e how mrel. Obi wo a onimpa ese time na eba on save sika time na so no afre ni lawyer ofre lawyer no aka che lawyer ne say me ebuaboa me ho ano aba na watena wa aka 2 days ma visa na be wu no afre lawyer no obusa ne say ade na otwen ya visa ne ba be wu afi na ade ba o se o me frɛ wa ma enya onyi ntumu say wan to ni niema yi said ya obesua bibi na next time wetumi hyehyɛ ne niema yi no na obi di blame mama no ye best remo aboa sansa se okita dompa okita ne kwa otwene mutan eye kraman dia saso na futukuko nini oni okoto omo nyina da netiem enso omo nsre afikrom enso ato a aboa okoto edi awrusie no na futukuko nini ho akere no saso na opebo na futukuko nini edi awrusie no na okoto eso ho akere no na ewiase na ye wo no bibia e wo ne mre enti enkrata eno ne de tina kromu a ye de enkrata ne peska And if anything, do me a favor and do yourself a favor. Mentna ho emata monenso. No aka se uniska or the best and do visa. Mentna ho mata monenso. Ebedru na afina na akwa bosia abo. Na se wenya bosani bia na onkrata abesei. Onkrata abesei a na adwumfo apamo. Adwumfo pamo a o landlord ono nteki mercy on you. Se rent time so na niska obepamo. Na afei akoye ensem pii. Enti esramo. Yemo ye homodin. Na yenye do our best. Na you make sure say you're saving enough money to be able to do what we need to do. Now, you got domestic violence last week. You can, and some people heard more about domestic violence. Now, domestic violence, me can obi o ma onim say ebia ne conduct amounts to domestic violence. And the oil no onim the oil. Obi also onim pefe and so be rasa culture say obi antimi nya ne hwe. Na de biam kasa asem we aya enipa ne bi ye nya atwem. Yehu sade na ekoso. Yentu enipa ne fo se onjai de oil no eyensimhunu na oil no ntu onjai. Na enipa ni tima ye ne de na de bia oguso na oye enti afi bedru mre bi no empenimfo se apotro wo yi a oye frog se ensuo etana ojewo enti no sana etie enti obi abuse obi san de bia na wo abuse no de bia na wo abuse no afi bedru mre bi no na wate prega ote prega obeka se dipa na ni nso ade ote prega osi dipa ni eboni aye ote prega osi dipa ni edipa boni ni aya ye nhwe ye suban ene se de si treat ye ho ene ye nua no because who treat obi in a bad way a ebedru baabi aginsem so a na eno ano no aseka ate prega anase ponko a wate prega it leads to distraction. Into a very, very important. Now, last week, it can be said domestic violence, according to the Home Office definition, is any incident or pattern of incidents of controlling, coercive, or threatening behavior, violence or abuse between those aged 16 or over, who are or have been intimate partners or family members, regardless of their gender or sexuality. Enti ebia obampo ana ebia ye victim no ebia wawari bema bi na bema no one oba from previous relationship akoda eye domestic violence enyo no enso so eye ade a esi ebia obi owo a na one ne ba one ni kunu ba akoda eye ade a esi eye domestic abuse eye violence. And when these things are happening now, who are we are victim, no? You are a victim of domestic abuse. Na emre pino e bia na awaria wutimi abuse ano or the paper ana e cover udi pano kra o si wa yengura obo wa kra o si uye dede ano na what was I si ye midru joso na kamitwa ma akanko kofa asema ama Alhaji Sadiq, I greet you. Salam alaikum. Entino is one of those things. Entino abuse there also in so many different shapes and forms. It be a physical, it be a psychological, it be a financial, it be a economical. Last week we spoke about all this. Now normally they can be said. Abusers, they have instrument tools are almost using. And one of the common tools that they use is to cut you off from people who can talk sense into your head. Obi wa wonim nyansa obetumi aka nyansa sem akire obi a ama wa ye free from this abuse no abuse no ehu nipa ne se oye threat enti dia na eso oye abuse ne be make sure say obi create scenario obi create ensem na wa say unipa ne oni nipa ne ntem ade a eniwo no a create or refer to on big crowd because say nipa we. So one can be a twaso crana, no, they doubt be a show to him because we used to say the power now, the twas be a negative. And to be personally, so people meeting, sound like a dark way, I lose respect for that person straight away because the person is showing me disrespect. Me, ubumi amibu. Tisa obi refer to you, wo sa Suleiman away, wo sa Sadiq way. Wo papa kwami we enipa no mpe oye adwebo no oni tiri enti esa uhwe say ni pani enti therefore abusers no that is what they do. They will use certain words, emotive words to describe your loved ones. People are omokasa ubeti no esa cutting them off and to cutting them off then you are on your own until the penny say no man is an island. And therefore, they can then abuse you. They will then bully you, threaten you, and control you. We spoke about this last week. Na osho phone so. When ye questions. Upie koba ehe na akoe. When na ne kasa na de bia no obule. So why you see a mamia and crata the messay So why you see a mamia and crata messay no? A big crowd of physical violence. Obit me quite human, why a juma, then you could and I send a year only nation is casomano. A brochure and so be sure busy casomano. Obit me catch us a young could be a joint accounts. Oh yeah, Juma, who sick an amateur joint bank account. Maybe a year Juma, a better income account. Ninyana a part of abuse. Monitor your technology, your social media, Facebook page. For personal number, mommy, for P number, mommy, make a check it. No, Girona or check it. Everything that you are doing, you are being checked. Upio koba, a hen akoye, mana ne kasaye, Ninyana a SMP. Entino, Ninyana a adia and grufo yusu. Ebi so use economic abuse. Obi ne yiri ofie, opie na wadidi, no abafie no ababeda. Obi kra de asem nya nani otimi twaduane ni fira bonten, no de abafie, no ababedi. Ono nkwa so no tomane ho. Odi wi a bedroom da ho no akoda living room. Ne part of living room no akoda bedroom. Obi wo ho a ne yiri ni fie ensem de ebi ukoso edemo osu. Enti ni nyina eye part of abuser oye oba oye bema na wote aware ase na se we koso a ede na ese we obi also sexual abuse yet na ye breakfast yet na ye lunch yet na ye dinner sebi obi kan ye relationship and sex there I was say eye bibia both parties must be in the mood to do it. And to one po se only obi have sex. Na say nipa is not in the mood. How can you enjoy it? Both of you will have to be in the flow. That is my belief. Because if the person is not in the flow, that's how you are doing that. In Europe, it's called marital rape. If the other party do not consent. So be very, very careful. Marital rape. Even though the person may be your wife or your husband, if you force the person to penetrate, it's called marital rape in law. If the person reports you to the police, you could end up going to prison. Be very, very careful. Within our community, culturally, we don't see these things. We don't know these things. And we have to be very, very careful. Before you sleep with your partner, make sure that she is also up to it. If she says no, if he says no, you must stop. Be very careful. Because if the person reports you to the police, you could end up in prison. If the person has got limited leave to remain, and the person reports you to the police and you are prosecuted, the person go to refuge, the person is able to get enough evidence to show that she is a victim of domestic violence, under British immigration rules, the person will be granted indefinite straight away. Justice and law, you have helped some people to get indefinite straight away as a victim of domestic violence. So the papers that you may be using as an instrument of oppression, that could go down the drain, and that may not benefit you. So it's very, very important that we understand this. How do you get evidence? What sort of evidence will the Home Office accept if you are a victim of domestic violence? And what are the organizations that, if you're a victim of domestic violence, that you could contact, who may be able to help you in terms of accommodation and giving you a refuge? I'm not saying this to encourage people to report their partners because they want their papers and they want to use this route to get their indefinite leave to remain in the UK. However, I am saying this so that people who are genuine will not suffer in silence. I never want to see anyone suffer. My job is to help people to be liberty, to have their freedom. My job is to help people to make, to make peace within themselves and their soul. I don't want people to become victims. I want people to succeed. That is the reason why I'm doing this topic. I don't want it to get to a stage where a victim of domestic violence will lose their temper, will lose their mental faculty. I've come across the cases where people have actually boiled hot water and pour it up their partners because they lost their mental capacity to be able to reason and rationalize. You see, when you push someone so much, sometimes the person will lose their ability to think and reason. And when they temporarily loses it, sometimes people will, do crazy stuff. People will do crazy things. I've come across cases, the case of Aluwalia, where this woman was a victim of domestic violence. What did he do? The husband was sleeping. He poured petrol on the husband and light the husband up with matches. He burned the husband because he was a victim of domestic violence. She was prosecuted for murder. When she went to the court, she said, look, I did not do it on purpose. I lost my head. I lost my brain. And as a result, she was not convicted of murder. She was convicted of manslaughter because at the time, she did not have the capacity to think, to rationalize. That is the reason why in law, if you do criminal law, we call something diminished responsibility, where your ability to be responsible diminishes because of maybe a torture that you go through. Some people get tortured so much that they want to lose their lives. Why? Why do you take enjoyment from other people's pain? But yet you point fingers and say that person is devil or evil or possessed by the devil. But yet you are the one causing the pain that is leading to that individual's circumstances and situation. Why do we have to do that to people, our fellow human being? It's very, very, very important. We don't want it to lead to that before we start talking about it. It's a cancer within our community. Unfortunately, the hypocrisy that goes on within our community sometimes is unbearable and sometimes it's unbelievable because the very people that you expect them to be bold and face these abuses and put some sense into their head are the very people who may not comment, but yet they tell the victim to put up with it. He who stays there, the ordinary jamono on enim say decision nefa. Very, very, very important. So for me, what I will say to you is this: the law in terms of immigration and nationality makes it very, very, very clear that if you are a victim of domestic violence, there is a way for you. The update in this is that under European law, there was no provision for victims of domestic violence. There was no provision for victims of domestic violence. But what it did was that there was a provision for retention of your EEC right, i.e., you go through the divorce and then you get your stay through that route. But thank God, Appendix EU of the immigration rules, which has incorporated the European law into our domestic law. Now, if you are holding EU settlement scheme and you are a victim of domestic violence, you can make an application under the domestic violence rule for settlement. So that is an update for you. That is the link. So it's very, very important that we understand this. But how does that work? What evidence will you need that if you are a victim of domestic violence? The law does not specifically set out what you must provide if you are a victim of domestic violence. However, Home Office have a guidelines on the type of evidence that you must provide to show that you are a victim of domestic abuse and domestic violence. What are the evidence that a Home Office may be expected you to provide? Home Office would expect a police report. So if you are a victim of domestic violence, you have to try and get a police report because you must report it to the police. Once you report it to the police, police will issue you with, maybe a reference number. Police will ask you to come and do a statement. And the police may ask the perpetrator to be interviewed. If you're a victim of domestic violence, they also want to see medical record because it's not only physical, sometimes it can be psychological. So if you know that you are suffering as a direct result of domestic abuse and domestic violence, it is important that you also speak to your GP about it so that there is something on record. If the situation gets worse and you need to basically disappear, you have to go into refuge. They may assign you with a caseworker who will help you. There are help out there. There is support out there. And basically, you can get those support. There are various organizations that help victims of domestic abuse and domestic violence. And some of these organizations are as follows. I am going to mention some few names because there are so many organizations out there who may be able to help you if you are a victim of domestic abuse or domestic violence. Okay, one moment. Let me bring this up. Some of these organizations are as follows. They are very, very good, and they will give you a counselor, someone to speak to, and they'll be able to help you and offer you the necessary support. Because when it comes to making your application, you will need letters from these organizations to show the support that they offered you. Bright Sky. Bright Sky is a mobile application and a website for anyone experiencing domestic abuse who is worried about someone else. Once again, you can download the application and you can communicate with them so that you have evidence. There's another organization called Women's Aid. Once again, they can also help you. We have victim support. They can also help you. You have Ask for Annie, ANI. Also, you can get in touch with them. They can also help you. We have another organization called Safe Spaces. they can also help you. And to name a few, these are some of the organizations that help people. There's also another organization called You Are Not Alone. Also, they can offer you support and advice. If respond to abuse advice line, so many organizations out there who can help you to basically to get support. Save Lives also offers support. And through these organizations, they will be able to help you to get a temporary accommodation until you are actually settled. So if you're able to get evidence from your GP, your social worker, from the police, and obviously you may also have to start court proceedings. If you have documents from court that there is ongoing litigation against the perpetrator for domestic violence, then of course all this evidence can be used to support your application for indefinite leave to remain. So in the past, under European law, it was not applicable, but under British law, it's applicable, and European law has been integrated into British law by way of the withdrawal agreement under the settlement scheme regime, which has been incorporated into British immigration law. And now those people holding settlement scheme, pre-settlement scheme, they can also be victims of domestic violence. And once they are able to get the necessary evidence, they can also then apply to stay in the UK as a victim of domestic violence. So we thank you very much. We will take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I will do variation of leave, and then we will activate the telephone line briefly, and then we will take some phone calls. We thank you very much for tuning in. We will be back with the variation. The variation is very, very important. I will suggest that you don't touch the dial, you don't go anywhere, because that one is technical stuff that I'm going to discuss with you today. And I will do the best that I can to simplify it so that you get a better understanding. Only yesterday, I had a telephone call from one of our brothers who was going to fall flat into this loophole or into this lacuna, this hole. And after advising him, I did not charge him a penny. He was on the line, though it was on our office hours. I made the time to advise him. When you call and I am free, by all means, I'm happy to talk to people. But when people are paying me money to do their job, I will not have that time to be talking to you and to be giving it free. I won't do it. So those people who are fond of doing that, please, we have to stop that, because it's really distracting us from actually providing a services to those who are paid for us to do their service. So I hope that you will understand where I'm coming from. So let's take this commercial break. When we come back, we will continue on the program. And we thank you so far for tuning in. You'll be back. Also, share the program for us as soon as you join us. People are sending messages. Lawyer, I can't find the program. It's so difficult sometimes to find the program, I must admit. So what I would say is that go to Justice and Law Facebook page and just like the page and also subscribe the page, so that as soon as we go on air, you will get live notification. That will make life easy for me as well.
This beautiful ultramodern city, Abatema, Community 25, Whooper Standard, Executive, Semi-Executive Quality Buildings, Yeni Paradise City, Yewo Homa, Esase Yedia Brochure Abagana Antino, Ye payment terms no so, and a phone book call, Whoopeni Self Finance, and as a mortgage, Fred Paradise City, oh, your telephone numbers here, so UK, +447 908 475 802, Paradise City. Jumapa Magana Yefe Ankasa. Medafo, Uyamanka, wow, would die papa be our Ghana, and so a nam no cry asantino. Who was saying I would bet my nisika, say yes, see what you mount. It's in a paradise city. Yeah, did this beautiful ultramodern city, Upper Tema, Community 25, standard, executive, semi-executive quality buildings. Any paradise city. Yeah, well, home out. It's as if you're brochure about Ghana and Timo. Your payment terms no so. And a phone book call. Who penny self finance and as a monkey. For paradise city. Oh, your telephone numbers you so. UK +447 908 475 802. Paradise City. Yeah, Juma pa Ghana yefe ankasa.
Okay. Now we are going to be talking about variation of leave. But before that, let me take commercial advert from Justice and Law Solicitors. Now, if you may be in the end to us.
That God has a covenant with you. Therefore, you shall never be put to shame. Omiada for how any say and a wusu. Justice and Law Solicitors said, Omodiana brand and young medi home como, Ombema a futu, na say idea say to one more, Ombeboa no to one more. And immigration and answer nationality problems. Say yes, student application, family independent application. So pass it now, Kruma, and now lawyer bino jina one name or court amount, personal injury claims. Say employment, landlord and tenant issue or housing issue, family and divorce issues. Drafting legal document, will writing, renting and leasing shop, lease extension. Obina juicy cannot persuade them out. And you near Kawakuma to him now how you know to a trap. But what any Justice and Law Solicitors for Nkasa 07538969589 and I said 0207 738 5841. Bamodiana Fred Justice and Law Solicitors. Na ye kwanya ye be faso ye be boa. Obenwom ewo Unit 35 Eurolink Business Center, 49 Efra Road, Brixton, SW21BZ. Na kai say we have Victoria Line to Brixton. Bus 2 3 37 415 432 689 and 690. Siwa St. Andrew's Church Pastor. Seba Emra Semodia baby here any Justice and Law Solicitors.
Yes, covenant living God. We thank you very much for tuning in. We thank you very much for staying with us because baby are you doing it? I was saying ye because a bit technical, and I'm hoping say by the time I'm maybe now you have better understanding of what it is. And yinti ni pa yinyi asum na ebebwa yinyina. Your friend validation, variation of your visas. Dientia ene if you say mekasa asimwe ni say yenyanum pi aka kakrebi na ometumi akwakoji indefinite. Na yenim say sa 10-year route to settlement started 2012. June ho baby menkai exact date. Let me say 9th of June or 13th of June. And I started before 2012 Now we get application for discretionary leave to remain now a amount 3 years. After 3 years now amount another 3 years. Now afi wakwakoji indefinite leave to remain, which was very good for a lot of our clients and a lot of our listeners. And chese no na yenyanum pi edinya omo indefinite. Na Theresa May, tamano ye home secretary ano say sa 6 years ne kra ye too short. And was say the changing rules ye de call 10 years. Ti yenyanum bi eso aye application na so mo ye application ye do mo to sa 10-year route ne so. Fine. Entino Yenim say home office so do application kwa. It take a bit of time before say oma make a decision. And to be the first one no ebia ye de no ebia 2013 and ye de no. Na tembia no the application kwa aya na a check akra and saying a home office a make a decision. And unti no sesi no ebia since the man 2013 inti no aka ebia few months na the 10 years na so. Nembum ne visa ni so bewu 10 years ni so nso. Enti sesi dey na wonye. Na obi wo ha na dwene ye say oh se we dey aka be 2 months pe ama be visa na wu. Enti se sa de tie dia a ene ma menkoye application for indefinite with the hope say by the time case where can be shake case no na 10 years na so na cheso the indefinite amane breko akwan bi so no a common sense argument. Now sometimes you know emraso so de edu be a common sense doesn't work. You have to follow the law. Ebu the law no does not make sense. Sana e was way. Obi shame obeka se lawyer asembe na okay. How can you say the law doesn't make sense? Mamin fa emfato ho we ema. Sesi se onam ho na se ka ebo obi a na se oni akro tehwe a ede be na obeye. Your common sense will tell you say enipa ne tehwe e what say dey ukopija no ana se eso opeka bi na wodi ni tu na wo ye dey wodi ni ko hospital meboa ba ekromu amra so kire say se ka ebo obi na so onya akro tehwe a mane na ho ne free ambulance. And this is an example where I said the law doesn't make sense. And a cromwa in Papa Chopi, the Amranekano, I know that it was with this. Men can say, Majine me say, and when you could a full cromwa. Let me free say, you're very careful. The Amranekano, I know that it was a way. Now, with them, the baby trim qua, yen young mom, we had more care homes, no. Media be a bompire mammo. I am Yusumam. Mojumano is one of the most dangerous jobs ever. Ubia eye. And I said Ubitiaye. Mimi say, what do you make transfer me mean to me? Because minis ha komano and a minis ha botreno. I have to admit, because some of the things that I hear, some of the things that you go through, young mama komano and shamoden, because me party, me sure say bitiaye. Bisosoa meet me aye. By the moment, you know, I'm not in it. Until I make an exam. I didn't make us the same way. Because I send me brain number in him. And send me be a time. So be cram more children alcohol, and work to us in. Say, we had more care home. Near culture said, these are our rules, these are our instructions. Make sure say rules na your dear amount. Company ni the amount and you need so. And yet the client no air catcher. And yet the client in mammy, and as a client in injury, and as a client in your air catcher. You're very careful. Now, before I come back to the main things I'm going to talk about. Case about my name, Sebi, care worker, any a client, I call out. Or the nickel for working or whatever they call it. Now a nipano SEO ni TV a washa say enti no se skada kera ne ho a kera no ento TV no na omo kwa o diskana ma no ne boni ewu mani sen Ghana ni ye culture chese bibisa de enye hwe ano to television e de man nipa no omo call back no ana nipa ni transfer sika no efi ono na account mu eba kera no account mu papa ni bako hu ya straight report ese kera no dupi or papa no. And you say police in Abemo, ekoye nsem pi. Papa be hu me waye ha. To the point the grass no person can call Ghana because afi na asem na fono. Papa o kwa akoye. Hwe baby e kolande no. E wa breso so a ya ka kire omu ase kera no. I say hwe na wan koje client bi sika anase obi an first can to account. Afi e ba ne sa no company no mu ye adwuma no ko mu ye yinama. On afi nti ase ye adwuma no ane asa ma ne warning. Papa ya ukoye ye no. Eno na ene yede bede ana eyiwa ye no. Enti papa bi wo hono ma be very careful. Ye nuanu amoye carers ye ukọ adwuma mu a wabusuani bi ani hono no. Enipa no nye obusuani. A professional relationship. Just go and do your professional work and get out. Men ko ye hwehwe ni mu bia wo ho emfa ho nkoto asemu. Adwuma na akọ se okọ akoye. The yet training will say, you know, you go there, you execute it, and you are out. Period. Because and some ebe ye nim na dawson one hwe na odo ho akwakoto asem. Enti monye careful. Enti no come to the variation of leave. Variation of leave, you know, any extension of leave, any withdrawal of applications. And no person make ho assembly near home office for guidance. Me example, ebi say ye nyanum pi o hodma almost 10 years na eba beso. But on visa ni so EU. And therefore, what do they do? What do they have to do? Me ankasa sa daily me ebi ato me client. Ni indefinite ebe so much. No we 10 years. But the visa no so we January. And therefore, a bad is no. You be say you say a dear na I was say ye. A dear Anna I was say ye. We had no choice. Now I was say ye apply for extension. Because emremuno technically no say 10 years name soon. Now koye application for indefinite you be refused. Entino say o can sankrofoni be home. And I say you fall within this category. Now 10 years name soon PNC so pia. Don't try it. Because okoye anything it be refused. You know kofa e how abrel. Now emum the rules no ema hon kwan. I say oye application for extension. No, this is the key. Say oye application for extension. Na say o term for indefinite no aso. Na say omo make a decision under the variation rules no. Utimi ye another application for indefinite. Why? Because the application you got to and send a visa ne baby. And now visa ne baby no, your visa is extended until such time on make a decision. And so when you make a decision, you know, ubetimi get another application to vary the application na e wo dada no. And to your case, I'm the example. As a my client in a visa, the 10 years never so March, and a visa no every January. Main possibility, main person who be chiri ninti. The catch and say, "Mommy, the patrol December ya yemfa application for extension enko." And you very unlikely say be make a decision before March because you need to say human rights application. Say it take more than 6 months. And say my target is say March ne soon ya 10 years ne soon ya Now my another application. Now my application and March say this application is to vary to change the terms of the existing application. Tinyame ya duma ye change ya ye vary leave na air pending na. Nyame ya dum na say money indefinite no as at March na fe makwako fight it for the money back. You try for immigration health surcharge fees and also for the application fees no for the leave to remain extension. No? So that is the only way to get around this. And I think it's a very, very clever way. Yenyanoma, almost 10 years no, enyan sumpi. Embum, akaka krebiamana sum, but on this baby, no, also apply for extension. And to oba, baby, to say justice and law.
me within the kwaku bia so mama bo to say kwaku bia yenyansani na ye use yenyansa na ye say yetimi e de ayede yetimi aya ama na ye de assault say time ne ko abo one pepe enti no ye di dwumadie no ebeba na wieye na ye bie amatrofo na tum na obi a owo question bia no also ubetimi afre meaning said domestic violence no a very very sensitive issue. Say ufree say you are not comfortable in calling her, don't call. Would you actually send me a text message? Sebi se meet me mo akra na nyame adom menim obi a obetimi aboa. Aya sometimes no obeka wasem obedwema na afi akwakwada ne topic na obi a eka. Ebia o voice crowd be kasa no na ebia obi ate na akwakọ record no de akwakọ ma obi asumasi say ne kufio ekoso ne aya ensem de doso a whole lot. And you know, if you're not comfortable, I understand. Men how men free program no obeti me at sending a text message. I was send me free wechira me free wechire na me ne wakasa. Mo bi wo ho ana say futu bi wo ho a na me di amount. Now so hu kwan a obefa so because domestic violence is a cancer within our community. A demo osum ensem ekoso yefie pa na ya na emrepi no ye disie because eye ade a aya na ebi mani ebi person beka ho asem aya na your community ne so no ana ya tarnish ekrofo image because of domestic violence enu susu ntino aya na ekrofo person on beka ana obi ososo a obi aboa no kwan bi so amana baabro chiri okokasa too much a ye beka se onyi aye oyeboni ayefo adape ko himba ye nyina no ye di bitwa no ana unfortunately your community neso no yeti asem a aya yimbusa question me lawyer da committee we obeka obi ho asem kire me questions a mebusa no obeni hu so obeka aye because ana me mpe ensem keka too much enti no before so beba me no beka obi ho asem no get yourself ready enye sa men kan kire me kora enti so bi kan asem a eye the right to say eso busa questions ana so bi kan asem a memfa onyakro na asem no emfa nye ye fene say the ultimate truth because ayana enipa kasa ada say the be kan wona say be yibi afri enti say oti obi ho asem a mentie die obi ka emfa njeji obi na emom experience it yourself na emom say uwo bibi ka fa ho a na wan kasa wa ye die wetimi aka na before say ebekọ ne so na say bia matrofo na tum no ye hu say ebi mu afa justice and law ho e de wiki bab eno so de ye ntiase da ye mpene obi ho a obi pe advice a the person is prepared to pay for consultation and seek professional advice no na enipa na jata no so minim lawyer no ma me friend na mbusa ne ma na enipa ne fra or expect say justice and law may jai de meye ma ba bigina phone so na enipa na from 30 minutes 15 minutes na yemfa ne say every day we get about 250 phone calls. Now I can guarantee you say 20% a joke. Because say a joke, those people are not serious. They have no intention of coming to you. They want the advice and take it somewhere else. Or they want the advice and do it themselves. And to no person befa with time. Ovia or si nyankopon nhyira. Nyankopon nhyira won so no entimi ntwa ye bills. Yes, your bills itwa. And nothing right now our receptionists they are hard. Ofra obebusa the right questions. Said the old friend no enya dia yesebe boaye ya onso so. Ene obepe kwan bi so na where you fly. Because your office hours here, we are there for people who want us to help them. Obi on ma obefrel. I want to speak to lawyer. Edeba asema or say my wife is beating me. Now ohira wo bu lawyer or your police. Lawyer or your sovereign. And the secretary said, no, this way party means me can lawyer. And I said, I don't want to waste lawyer's time. Now we'll do a food. We'll go a now we'll shallow your dark on the beer. No, we did not him. Yamin Fabon in jail. For they don't know what they are doing. Because of £10, you will be mounty. Not a beer. Oh, can't save you, and Quasiasem. And you know, the mechanic say, Yes, so no, we have to protect our interest. And therefore, no, it's vital for us to protect our interest. And to fry your secretary politely. Our secretaries are well trained. They are very, very polite. They will ask the right questions and they will ensure, say we a genuine person. Not say we here our services are. They will arrange appointment for you, and that time is your time. Question will be where they will be to me busa. But obi wo honoma onye na dwe so beba secretary busa say what is the case about kwana ne buofu na afi wa sha se ADD secretary atem enye fe ye be hye mo pi yemfa anidie obi biara a obi hia no o life bia no fa buo ene anidie ema nipa no because ewi ase se nipa wu a enipa ne sie no sebio adeda fichire mpo nyankopon ti ni fa no ema ne be ye obi me the streets of Ashtown, not in a million years did I think say I can ever become a lawyer. Yeah, when we were growing up, our role models, not only drug dealers, Dame Kobiri, Cincinnati from Jamaica, Esua Kenny, Kwaku. These are people that we look up to. And those people who are lived in Ashtown, they know what I'm talking about. You grow up, and not only our role models. Esua Kenny, they just fight for no reason. These were the people that now we look up to them. And to be beer, near my gonna say, no many symbols in me about a lawyer. And so ene, mina mijinaha, cansem, echo eviasa fanenino. Midin attended a wobiasi afanenina. Ena echre de nyankopon timi enti no se obi de sumi na so a na enchre se na wi ye no enti na nadofo o se ma ye yie sumi na so bede ewiase so be spend the time ewo ho a de nipa na se because without my secretary there will be no me kwa mintimi nya adwuma no ti mefre besre pi obi bia obefre bia no fa anidie ema secretary no because no so you be maame or you be ba, or you be yere, or you be sister. Now, if you ask no, yemfa enko baby ti yemfa any odo, emfa nyi baby. Now, if you are going to activate the telephone lines, because I want for your word, but afra no more free. Now, afi no, yemi amatrophone into now intiki some few phone calls. Now, yemfa jumedi no emra nebi. Entino sana etie. Entino number edidi juma no yemfa anyway fam na fa yemfa number no eso n2 Lefena pia mechiachia. Yes, offer number na edidi jumano 07538 969 Mame Enfanto comment section ho na obi opese ofre bia no ono so idea etimi afre ye dem nyina mase ese my enjoy program no without you there will be no us momuntina ye baha every Saturday. Education is infinity nyina ninsua ade because ikromu ade wonsua ade a oyera saso na ye say wunim ukro ehene aben oyira ewo edwabo ase enti no obiaso niwa ode ne nsabonkum edien ebekire ni kromu ekwan na kasatenten wo hoi ne chiame awareboni wo hoi ne chiame ene kasatenten enti ne sana etie le adakon me so me de media ba se bi onyansa eni ba ko fotrim obia eye na famudie media me ba be me famudie metamo so a meko ama obi so idea aba amatrofo ID di dwuma no sɛ di kan no ɛyɛ 07538 969 589 sɛ ofrɛ na sɛ ayɛ engage na sɛ ayɛ busy a mesrɛw koso ne frɛ you can only take one phone call at a time most of the times do so a idea ye befa amade so wo no also why idea watimi idea aka mpanyinfo sɛ unya entoboase edwidwa aboa entetia ana uhu ne idea ana ehu na koma enti yenko ne Mr. Akoma Mr. Hart on so afre a wogina oma ne so on de watimi antwen kra opene de ntem kwata eja Akoma yenko.
Good afternoon, Jumane, Babusia for you, I know what Tankonya, na Juma every
a Juma, you were so pass.
The equipment we are coming in the car because inquire then a changer.
Inquire then a idea.
Na changer.
Anna a chi a ja, that's right. What's it? What's in Quaneda? Boom, say you will not have to struggle. And Kofane Beba, sanity, and inquire a day. Ana echi eja. That's right. Also the biawa head was it. Enkwaya ede ana echi eja. What's it? That's right. Eja yonko.
There it has near my power here. Now what they want about okay, I see Martin this was the and effect. And then not until I send me 2 weeks, I know the family be surprised.
That's right.
In Qualavi or Minchesi, I'm say, when it's your own Bibia. Now, Miss Hano, Miss Penia, a process in your manual home office. In TV, I get a woman to see the town as by. Until me applying and I, in my more penny for me, you know. Very fortunate or unfortunate, you know. Penny, no, idea, a buy. I got to me in an idea, no. What's a picture on your clay? In the end, any picture and some from rice, any picture. Almost anchor or almost every do one. Until you could do one almost more cruise. Case application. Into a town from woman book appointment with my men, Apollo may call Coventry. Call job center. Call job center, and almost the hour of my better woman. The CIA, my landing craft. No, from it only letter, but say you don't need an I. I'm so high. And I so the cover the answer, almost say, Ariano, this I know. Intino, until say, to me, I don't be so decision no answer. In this case, now, I could again, he bet me I affirm, and I said that's no option on Thursday decision back out.
A Canadian fee saying
19 now.
Okay. Oma Charlotte and they say Oma close case now say say you don't need an NI now.
See, I'm land is see a part of make a say, you know.
Okay.
This is a go back and son of letter or son of friend say okay, means almost say you don't need an I at the moment. I don't know why.
Okay. Normally, no. Say open NI. Ebia oko interview na yibusaw. Say, what do you need the NI number for? Na ahano important pass it for you na be you masumi. NI number no oji ayede ye adwuma. Ebebusa say wenya adwuma. Obi is prepared to offer you a job provided say you can give NI number. Enti wentimi anka say ye ho ne pe. Na fa ba be problem. Me patcho what I say. Enti okọ interview minim say do si kasa fae. E ho na ye problem no. Because wutimi kire say obi ama wadwuma but enipa ne say all the NI number ba. Enye sa o ma won start. Afi na emia wo they have no choice but to give you the NI. Name of yebusa say wenya adwuma o minyanya adwuma. And that means that there's no rush into therefore omo de agent no yen process omo de no mon call many. Me patcho what ya say. Enti no a good question na wabusa no say yen nuanum bi 80 na afi na so ba be ko interview a eye kokoma fa wo ho adwene because a chromo no I mean a kwambi so no ebia me so say me take some part of the blame. I should have educated you before going. So which for me it did not come to my attention until say okay. It is a siano obi ka chem so kwa apply for NIR SM ya leti ni pa. Na me kire ne se obi si akasa afa. Enye sa ono so be ko no obi experience the same thing. But just what man say, and that's where the problem is. Tina make us say,
man, can be some effect. Of course, you may now be some not so to see. I need to be answered. You have say okay.
A ban is yeah. And to the letter no with me okwa with me twa na picture ba na anamo AC to fa ho no yetumi idea etu afa ho because justice and law there and America no our loyal clients, every time that they are in need, we will be there for them. No doubt about that. And hold on, second, trying to picture, send it to us. We will always make time for our loyal clients. And that one, no doubt about that. And come at you, better send me bow because wasum joa, Miss Masum Bedrome, Ubotomo joa, Miss Mbutum Bedrome, Sanity, we knew what we knew, Miss Minua, we knew. And yes, a boy, near to me move forward, positive vibration. Yeah, that was CP. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon to you.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lord.
Now, Patrol Dini said, I say free.
Patrol within the afternoon.
Oh, okay. Bibi Aboko.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Yeah.
And again,
oh, advance how to marry in the year.
No problem at all.
I mean, I don't see a Vivia to 3 years.
Yeah, then I'm yasi.
Patrol, maybe we will now and advise the fire. Now, let's be about me back who feel his opinion. How the preparations are made and the never back. Now, make I saw what advice and says and your child costed in the idea. My 30 year prevent my say and yet a whole Indian mamma. Now, I'm contact a lawyer. According to law, or say, send me yes, the viewer has said, power of attorney. If he made the lawyer and your mommy. Now, send me, yeah, I'm not normally a banker, and I said, Miss Lee, but I will not, the viewer always send me the Miss Sasha here, and I say, my papa so didn't consent account. So I make us say, never find me in the whereabouts because it's been a long time. Yana may share, but just said due to circumstances were do or me, I don't think the main here is paying. It's not going to claim my currency.
In terms of a chronic papa, no, you just have to explain. Say, papa no unim baby or name obech sending baby and the busian for. And Tiabanesana, okay, custody order no.
Yeah.
She say unim baby a chronic papa no. And unim baby or one, Edia unim baby and the busian for no. A grand papa busian for.
Not really, because when we locate from the affairs, we need someone to just me I'm because you share.
Okay. Se papa no no krana na se witimi relocate baby abusianfo ne wona. Social services will go and interview abusianfo no.
Oh, okay.
Once they give consent, the case can still proceed without the child's father. If the child's father can be located, fine. In terms of the custody order, no, I mean, in terms of the power of attorney, no, under Ghana law, no, or the 65, say, uni home pa, obitimi jidemuma. And you know, obey power of attorney, now the power, I shall be in some say, uni akoni yinamuma. Na Ghana, no power of attorney, meeting ya yama. Na emum, some of the courts, no, what they call almost say just a notary public in Kwana, idea, assign. Sometimes, you know, commissioner of oath or a solicitor can also sign it. May not be a solicitor and a commissioner of oath, meaning notary public. And therefore, no, call the lawyer and verify. So, because a solicitor beats me, and as a commissioner of oath beats me, oh, frame me, me sorting it out, why?
Yeah, and remember, now, may I say at the time, no, my book appointment, no, my banner. But so, only just say, all the pen in your member, beginning of original, you know. If you make attorney, at a power of attorney, obey what the rest of.
Okay, not a problem at all. Why? Okay, yeah, that's it. You take care. Bye bye. Bye. Hello. Hello. Yeah, Joso, sister Ketwa. Bibi aboko die. Nyame adom. Mami we so de bi oyi ma yes ah. O se onye boni aye ni. Enti me boni be yie kura obeyi ma ye. Me da wase. Okay, bisabano.
Or the students in the bedroom. No, we are no man. 2 years visa need to stay, you know.
Yeah. Graduate visa, no.
Yes, man. But before then, no, obviously, don't you had on any year you did. Now you didn't buy, or the 2 men buy. It's not because I find out 2 years, no better with their Ghana banner.
2 years and I say yes, so bit me travel. Yes. But one thing that you have to be careful and they say Home Office rules and they say what the application to na say we need valid visa utimi esade back na say we took kwanya untimi ma back. But in this case, you know, also 2 years a valid visa.
Yeah.
Obetimi took kwanya it allows him to come back. And therefore, from my interpretation, maybe obetimi ako esade aba. Nemum say the 2 years no say yemfa man na say the application them no go to kwanya. They will cancel the existing application at them. Nemum our valid visa a say your man cancel ntine kromua and you obetimi dey to kwanya ba was we need them limpo.
Okay, see, that means it's so bad. It may be subject to questions.
They may ask him, say what is going on, what is happening, you know. And you know, senya de agent important personally make us their own chain, now on very leave, you know, not on call. But in theory, definitely ubetimi akwaba. But ebia ubano, no be share immigration officer be don't say no be hassle. But ocean variation and the Home Office guidelines media. So visa bit me 2 coin esadia badia. Application demand it should not affect that. But generally speaking, you know, almost all application I don't travel. So application demand. It's down to interpretation. One here now will be uncle T and Rana C. No about how airport. So it's better said. Exactly. And you don't play safe on chairman Emra, not uncle. Why? Beda wasipi sister Ketwa. Bye bye. Okay, I'm for big sopa antino. Oba na wabone tofa na afi no ye koyenim. Me try na me free ebi mo back na enye sana na aye live. Nipa be 10 abeso epunechi. Enti ye hwe sibitimi afa bi na afi no. Ye fa bia na ye fa dwudi ni mra na wi. Hello, good afternoon to you.
Hello, lawyer,
oh, and yeah, hey, now what you brought from Aka hello. Amen. Akwawa. Mami Merekua Babelande. Mami Merekua Babelande dia. Etiefo nyina so echiao. Now last week program, no feedback from people were unbelievable.
Wow.
And some amount for friend, I forgot them tea boom. Yeah. And today said, yeah, me say, what baby, I may have to divert some of them to you. Because pressure for the mammy no, and yet easy na a demo soon. Any petty more ding. So with me, Tiska, no for biaba. Now we treat him accessible abuabi. Mother do similar so. Then any panye.
And go for that bar for me in our bar. Yes.
So Anna Colombia 1997 asemo ebi da so 2022.
Oh, a sipa.
Oh.
Yes. Said oh my yapon nti wunda hunu mo. So e cost of power from na chipa.
Oh, very sad. Very sad.
Yes, so yes.
I mean Fedi Pabo Ninche no.
Yes, see a bonfire, be a bear fine. One day. Yeah, Ghana, ya na me who say IGP back amanti will be a consequence and answer no. It's immediate IGP we have a MGD pa will be say be to miss it.
The Yamiasi.
Until I am a money adjuma, or Casama for back of it, tragic for on your person in Kumina, or Shasha for ye. For 2 or cop medical tente ever broke come.
Hey,
I could say brofo.
Michimu Yamede.
More piafo.
That's right. That's right. Mama Canina. I said, me team, me dog cry uncle. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Amazing boss lady. Hashtag Dada Barasta boss.
Dada Barasta, a
Dada Barasta.
That's right.
Lawyer, me will be the tsunami bottle rook to it.
I am called.
It's here for Miss Lemo. Monday to Friday, Obia 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. A year and you men on 9 because here you men will see a Monday to Friday drive time, boss lady, amazing boss lady, hashtag Dada Barasta. Eddie, you my dear Stronko, as a so many person, dear womb, S3 womb, na a drew yawada or the health matters are praying. A drew fear that the Pemo Agronqua, young conqua, ain't so when you met. And now it's okay, and now with no more tea. NASA will tune into Fire Life Radio, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. drive time with Boss Lydia. A bay, oh, yeah, the one casa. That's a papa, your mamma.
Yes, so yeah, that was it. Said your mote, you know, Monday to Friday, drive time from 4 to 6 UK time, GMT. What the Fire Life Radio, a addition. A chroma a kura umuselu sitrema ubetimi atinem easily nina a knowledge so when suya de now the shower dream say unsuya hwea unhu hweda tembia no ema oniema ka akire na seya ma be free Ghana by sebio ni sukuko enru akire kese na ofre office secretary ne kan brofo oyire ne hu akika bia ohun se me Ghana ni pe oso ye Ghana ni de na se me kantwi anam se de brofo na wo kan no sa brofo na me no beka osi o ne brofo nye wanko school enru akire anam se de yi free wa dwunim ye nuanom ye nti German ye kotena Germany ya itimi kasa no ye nti Italian ye kotena Italia ye wi kasa ne senso ade na ye bekro mu a ye mpese besua brofo na ye polish ye brofo na ye dru ni pe ma ye timi akasa. Oh, it's me this advice ne man no. Offer this week. Brofo kind me bo me sem man. Metim say me confidence air kosro ana air kosro ana air kosro. Sana brofo ti o. Se unya confidence na uye mistake kura nipa ni nhunu. Na mom one build confidence within yourself. Afi o kan na wusro. So entina very very important. I say obe build it. So be you know kasa, obe kasa brofo. Na said de ya dachi bi no wo dru nipam na wo kasa obetimi akasa na de wo peso onsa aka because here no bebre omudu adwuma mu anomada ne mumu omuntimi nkasa pay rise kronko bisa pay rise ontimi musa enti de obed odi kan adwuma nja no ono abaji pay rise oda so gina baby ogina ne dia ne se o complain racism one kasema ye you yibone if you don't talk about your hair they will baba you bad. And it's very important. That's a kasa witiri ho. Madam for me like an answer more. Nathaniel Asare. Or if you don't talk about your hair, they will bap you bad. And someone can say to you bonny. Parkwesi Nathaniel Asare, baby, I will be a matriarch. And sana if we are senator, baby, as well Casano, Udrua, as a wakasa. Udu anako ye mumua tembiano obi amfa sebio a boom po emma as a intelligence. So ye na brofni ye kasa o me de Ashton we near ding any Takashi ana me de namu de Ashton ye ma me no and ye de Takashi and to that act me number me ready no din say bro e bra ya chi and officer will come in back here udi agro I am impenetrable and I also believe in the spirit of the Most High. If you attack me spiritually, you will get nowhere. Physically, you will get nowhere. You have to be strong. You have to put in the effort. Speak the language. Confidence. You get what you want.
Yes.
And very, very important. As a boy, your home modern. Say, what you also suffer from domestic violence. Many white women say you are alone. Share abusers, they try to cut everyone off. Say they are only network of support. And no boss. So big brace suffer from mental health. Some can Ghana for a good Bonsley Hospital, King's College. You'll be surprised. I sent me permanent, be before my demir Saturday, missing him. Me and say be a yo, ya, say, Obi ba. What of an about Richie? What the touch and his hammer about them? Why? Any money said maybe no in here.
Yeah. But you move, I is Lucy Becca because Berman a diaba or Ban a diaba to be who's Lucy Becca said, or be the one by one you're grateful, or near no day or Corana. But if you see who say, if you know me a manipulators, and yes, you won't feel no son. You have abuse on pay, no more transfers are abuse, no, but and it's also so. You bet me a cutting at a certain point. Here to me, I built from somewhere because say, Osha, Sadiana, a Tuasu, Aquadano, say, young fan, say, Mena Media me bar. If there's a vanity dream woman 17, of course, say you okay, or not for the bayaneba, or also said, this is what my dad told me, or also the year, or also so bad. In the case of one of your mad, but also the tradition goes on. But when you good tradition, when you're a Sunday roast, and you encourage you to go on,
yes,
you bet me up breaking by speaking up. Now, what will be the Uber? Now, I may you now, so Becca in the end, Ubenya, I dream we are. I dream we are really be a jail cassatin thing. A big jail will say, would not low self esteem. A big jail will say, who feel the same. If you tell us Tembia when you were faithful, it's in the Tembia and go for a pabra boko when you know who are near my power was capa, but happiness dear. Or manipulate and at you will suffer after watching. And more being you freedom on tension, and a better say, open your freedom. Now, what's me and ya I dream of fine why yes, that's how we there is so better now, no better now in the name so no do buy it, now or since you are bravo. Say your case abuse and yes, a watching is a pie when it's on qua. You abuse a horror. So when you beat na bank, Musika sem, war banner now, Bermano, Uni and not a Musika semonimo, and Qualano, Esika or Muti, Uniano, Montamin planning, Qualane dancing. Let them be a minimum baby, a couple on the phone, or see you couldn't went to Omiana no Quana Wakasa. Oh, yeah. And I'm a catcher, I made the catchers, and so when me one also I don't call an because he has you miss what who are doing. What's it that there be part to charge him? Now, so much you charge the white so you are not casa. And also buying a bear man only good test canning in or bank with him in the bank account, so Sikago Kurada, tell me a new close in the good jabba. It's an idea or you will feel what I say, or some Kalan and San, not or Tomoko school. No, I've been waiting. Nekuma, why you will for the last 30 years and almost 3 decades. 30 years. And Quadano, and me at Tuko University. And a papa so at a baby afa. And a mamma and Nama Ponte. Usiana willing heart ya said the prevent ya way. Or shall we give me as a channel bear 9. And no baby see a way for about the second home. And on the number 1 gloves. Nico to Usiana, a young metal. Nimiama one fan and one Obakaso to quite over one train station to the other. Why? Or buy the Berman the mayor crater in Ibiama, mayor crater in Ibiama 30 good years. Since Onisika, Oni Bebiti, Onishi was saying I can be a acting.
If you more
it's a lawyer. Oh, yeah, lawyer, the patrimony. Any patrimony, but a young lad, our host and woman said your day on him, so do we know? On him say, or no, dear, or yeah, so your bow for seminar, me at seminar, and for some December, or your bear man, so I am in a bear my wife, make a say, can be. But ye nim say it was so bonny, and what the akane so bear do all for revia, none of you in the map, baby, upper, or what the young baby, your mother see. So, and say yes, sir, in Tiabusia for. Lawyer canning in a young zebra and Yantia, the lawyer can do my pana or lawyer for my lawyer, that's a papa.
Yes, sir.
See her, Ama will be so about the cabin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, that was it for your wonderful contribution. Piao, Ejumaye, made our CP. Mary Mirikusina Moten and Kano experience 30 years wasted, manipulation, torture, and abuse. All in the name say ebia ubieka ubi plane ticket amano. Sa mental illness and answer sa cancer no any say you tolerate it in our community. So be bano beka to say and me twa we take it man busa ne say ntda na on shut it up because it's too ridiculous the way our enkrofo carry on. Hello,
good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon to you. Na pacho di say na kase free. Hey, positive mame boatema Dawson. I hope say busia follow bia ho ye. Me ho ye papa. Me tell him say Taliban no. Oh, Yakopon Adam, omo boy dwuma mu hwampa. Yakopon Adam bia ho ye. I said we bia no change him kakra no asane mu. Ene che say Yakopon ene yakom I mean this week Yakopon ya de bia ma me ho. Ama mi gidie kosoro ti na me kenya mesem saa no hu se so gidie bedwa na wo kenya mesem na wo tu nyame nyo na mo case bi on we de mba betwam kwa na case no nipa ne baaye no bibi e madwene se men kan che nipa ne se onye sim day service because na employer for na tata no na ye dru se ye etua no na ne sika nye ready anam so ene we are ready na over back. So, oh, yeah, ready or buy, no? Let me refuse a make kind say on your same day service, and I'm a standard service. Or quite you mom say, hey, or paper were here for a dear bank, my common saying, almost on cutting a fee. Tibo one in fan frame, so lawyer won't promise and let's nephew. Is there anything that we can do? And I'm a form almost say, oh, almost send the email to home office. Now, home office for Emma back here, omunti frame. And Remuso, they are right to do that. Nemo almost sakewa and boom raso. And you have a lawyer, no, not just a my pim. And Remu meet me in and I'm questioning I say, I want to see miracle. Sinyano hopa this week, many panin krata amra. Any panaco born in Sano, 15th of December. Wednesday, me challenging Yami on Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday, then krata number.
Look at this.
Etino, and we are seeing so unyi nyami ni ya pe nyami bi na ginidi. And I say me say me kan ya pine si wono. Na me obi a me bi ma no kan sema aye taisi. Enti I try say me mami bumfu en cancel. Me bumfu am ye di. Ti na me kasa too much no.
Yes.
Because nyami wo hopa. Enti no se wo tie me a na bibi hawa. Bo mpa ye kire wo nyami. Because nyami bibi enu a eso ne ye. Sa. Ti ma me to asem no so.
Lawyer, what can someone say Yankopon aye adwuma?
Yes.
Unshira no e be bia kan sa abram.
That's right.
Yes, unshira. So be shira to be country. Somebody can say nobody can show miracle. Nah.
That's right.
You better man me be poor ase. Why are there?
Yes.
Why are there? I'm born about so papa. try so much your program.
Yes.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, you know, more family require the Monica. Now, I program domestic violence. And now, program is the last speaker, and I'm a main secret. I'm going to see. I said, the embassy was it. What lawyer is saying is true. What lawyer is saying, yes, some men can abuse. Now, I'm saying, you won't see it. Now, move from free answer. Let me say, Mrs. Speaker, yeah, I'm so loud speaker. I said, they will be other. Then never walk a train, and I'm now here, some lawyer, and I come. And to go from Mama, no, I feel.
Why careful?
Why careful? Wow, no, now catch up say it's true. And you see some more. Now, for seeing the answer, and the lawyer program now is very good. Now, the passer for they will feel now. They are sitting in the kitchen eating their lunch now. Almost 3 times a week, because I'm not some town for said who can settle. But when you want tears with lawyer, got that day morning, and one can say it's true. Some people can abuse here. And to almost say things in answer, near one to a good to do.
Yes.
Now, why are they in America? Why are they a mother? There's a miracle, and I'm watching them in Israel. Now, we should have also be a cameo.
Here, the Yamiasi.
We should have maybe a comment, just like sometimes the near Diablo.
Yes, so yeah, that must say for your continuous support over the years. Yeah, that was CPE. Okay, I'm say nipa be two so frame. Me try na me from back na fe fe dwumadi anim na wie. Me nim say time no ekọ nanim sa. Na amanfo fresh na yentimi am from back na akoyi bibi e wo. Enti yemfre Nana Ofori Atajan Kroma the first. Happy New Year to you. I mean, say this year, dear, me, anyone can say. Hello.
Lawyer, Happy New Year.
Nana Ofori Ata Jam Kroma Ofori Ata the first. Baku pe. Happy New Year to you. Share your program. Anna him for you. What's it?
Lawyer, I remember some now. I'm in a kind of critical movie, and
share, mammy, means some meeting on. Mikramanya care for Befama Guinea. Because and said what meet you. Now, person ko buobi. Serious. What me tell no akoma on. No akoma to me sorry as what? How can someone do this to this person? What you want restrain you on who? Man shall be baby. Because me say me nua ba now be treating in certain way. That's what catch me. I shall me lose my mind.
It's true because I remember said that you didn't buy I feel na me yes so one mom and na young crack those days na me ni bin tina me here sometimes you who no start so bobo me na anyway mu ko na boys say call police why is he doing that I feel no can we trim me so dey from one bomb because you so ni crack but
yeah so
I feel we question FD but later I said no I have to get out it's not safe.
That's right.
And I don't know say I didn't tell might be better now homo be abusing to a extent of 30 years.
Say very easy very easy to manipulate because anybody free Ghana ba onim hwe wo kromu a onim hwe no obe make sure say on father for because so father for a obe kire oniem bi ani so ama wadwiri mu abi
so the man will stop you
and to stop na o make sure say obia emen se moko ba bi kura no gina wo se dia na obi ni nkomo why say police officer and to be police usa ana yesay uni nkrata hwe case bi ba manima sebio e ma die pese kura na e ma niam monthly time aso just okwakobu seska how
you joking
yes and some be time me some ka se me churu book aminwie because and some me doso.
Anyway, some madam fear wouldn't mean money. So, Mrs. Say, not for me too.
The same thing.
People allow
me too. Nefo can they make be but unfortunately.
Me too. Yes.
Yes.
I
that is how it is. You see, abuses.
Everybody will get out of it because there's no need.
Yes.
There's no need.
Because abuses.
Yes. or baby na start afresh.
Yes.
That is what will be abusing to that extent.
Because unyan krata na se ubu emfaso be na woso. Unyan krata no na unya timu yare a emfaso be na woso. It is sometimes everyone has got tolerant level. You get to a stage you need to make that decision. Because personally, I'd rather be poor and be alive than to be rich and dead. So more.
Let me say, I would never be ungrateful. And Michelle, baby, I make a true be so on my back. I remember my own days.
That's
but
right.
the annoying bit of it, so me buy a kind of so sound and what the worst baby. Tonight, so they are abusing one. They come and if you come to know, didn't quite say so.
Uncle D said you seven couldn't quite see us, but me and us wake up. So more. Because sometimes it's annoying. You call a spade a spade. But when political correctness, you can say, hey, you know, that's.
Who cares? I don't care. Me come comes in so. Is it the only guy or do be about Ghana or China, or so be my China?
Mammy, what can? Side in addition for arguing. I said, oh, who could China? You because we're doing that they will buy in a way China. And two better than one. Nebi no bi kura wo ne ba ema ne ba se akuno eno kura so e obi timi wo ne ba na ne ba yi na ma eno so e
I hope people will get out of it and seek help.
Yes.
It's not advisable.
And it's our mindset to say or the maba se meja ne ho a ye because what maba bri na meja ne si no. You have a choice.
No, it is a media cost that is all bone ko be bo sa it's not a mental home.
So the thing is
me asebi.
There be no so ana when you punch bag ana yaba be bro sa ana sometimes no uma wo ho kwan it will continue and continue and continue. It will never stop. It comes to a point you have to make a decision.
It's true.
Oh, Anna said, what the guilty show with him say, who make him move? Amount for Becca say, or do Babuchi na Wajan Sima. So, who are amount for Becca say, Mammy Zuzo, on your papa, and when I would tell him, Anna would deal with it. Yes, this is the thing. So, domestic abuse is a very bad thing. You don't have to suffer in silence. There are help out there.
And those people, so when they do that, some of them will give you a lot of gates, and you tend to forget their way.
Say manipulation.
Yes,
or manipulating. So obuya no sama gift no akrokro. No sa bubi na beating get it worse. And one way it will come to a point beating be normal. Because you come to accept. Yes. I never know when you answer. Also, media sa ya buma na mepe. Oh yes. Obu ya buno, me ntumi say ya buno, me busa no so ya buna na ne hoto no.
Hey.
We nya yare. Mame. Ya buno. Ya program the mind, you know. And say normal, okay to accept the beatings.
No.
E tu ka kakra also we nya hwe on the new crew there say no ope no. Enti no say na.
One day obebo no wetikwa kwhwe e dia nya na adwen so obekon bo say
That's right. Enti no a very bad thing. Thank you for your contribution. God bless you and happy new year to you and happy new year to Mr. Ice also. Bye. Okay. I said time no economy ma kama. Among for eda so air free. Na adwuma so egume so pa ese mitimi etrimika ekoye. Enti no mame emfre ye last call yi back na afi no. Yemfa adwuma no die no emra na wieye. Enti no dia so a mobesa tie kan next week bi meeting ede David Darko. Justice and Law Solicitors. Your Unit 35B. The link Efra Road, 49 Efra Road, Brixton, London, SW2 1BZ. Se upese ubihuye ya misreo number ufra ubinyaye ewoso ana meke. Se obide any other number mawa menko fre inkosiso enyemea. Mesri P. Into kofre, Nasi nipa na amfa, anaso kofre, no be koyo 419. It's got nothing to do with me. My number is 0207 993 5976. The year Monday to Friday. Se upeso be huye ya ubitimi idea. Aba afre or sa number so. So person frame mobile and so person send you a text message. Our number is 07538 969 589. Justice and Law Solicitors. The address and I'm a good comment section. Tino opese uhi and so pese ubi ya sa number na I was say ofreso. A best repeat. Ofreso so your secretary now udi buama no should respect because they are there to do a job. And he said, example, offer, Nasubusa say, have you suffered from coronavirus within the last 10 days? Is there anyone in your household who has contracted coronavirus within the last 10 days? And yet, ebufu asem, I was say, Nipano, esu etimi protect ye. This week, ya nyame kwa, Kenya sa question sanki ebusa ya, uncle be the coronavirus eba office. We inquire by ya. Can you imagine the impact I can have? And the coronavirus you buy ya, ebian and could be a baby. Or the bayamia, the number of people they come to me in a day. Na kamis meaning, na miss me the young crow for na afe no, when you be hosono, na yari na epesi control no, na akoye NCMP. And Mestre P is a old friend, na say secretary ebusa questions. And yet ebufu so ese entiasie eye adwuma na ye nyinara yetimi eye yafemu de sese ye office kra ne mpese nkrofo ba betena tena ho bebre na ankonkofa asema ama enti obi ba na so ni appointment a ehwa ne ebuku bi ama no na osako enye se ye kire ye ho because oba na betena ho na obi su fi another household or no appointment no so betena ho no ma hwe ye through that interaction no na obi the coronavirus akwa you obi na afi akwakofa ensema ba. Now, the coronavirus outbreak, you who say if you justice and law, the honor aba your office, and I said, who say coronavirus, if you are me, I was say me isolated for 10 days. That means my office no, I me tune for 10 days. A banner so now and confer you mom, dear bray, deadline says ye meeting, yet me meeting, not a cofa a how and a coda and a bray yen numbimu. And today ye yenano, and yes, ye treya, name for the greater good to all our clients and all people. Now, sometimes we implement certain process and say decisions via ayana. Some people find it difficult to understand, but for the betterment of everybody. Enti yadamase next week nyameya adoma yebesai abebi. Where the Anki Equano no, but positive afraid the ane see about the kwano timi kasa na odine na ase esosoma etiefo nyinara oma ombeta na chi oma mi free mu ene na hia wo ye ene odo a mo be kire ye nyina we die ono ankasa ometu nanu mutu na onkasa kire etiefo. Mr. Positive Abelande yanko
yo lawyer obtain dako mema wasa
major so
ma nhwe na so ha na mema atiefo nyina official pa 2022.
That's right.
Na mikidi se atiefo nyina omwa adwuma mu obi wo ho na sa brefe na onwuna adwo no owie pie bi na mo bi so ade a kire obi bia oti fa na video ene eye oyema krom ha awie ne mo bi bia official pa
na otwedi ampo no onte n'anim kyerɛ obi bia afie ye wura mu yi ye bosome a edi kan yi na sere etiefo nyina sɛ adeɛ bi ɛda obi akoma so no otwedi ampo no mane mmerɛ ɛyɛ nsusu ye papa na lawyer we de edi kan no meda wase na masa da wetiefo nyina sɛ maybe bisa general question bi na MPP no ya yanye bi no mu a ye hwere bibiri mu man mu no ye kase ye mfa ye mmere ana ye tamu nya adwuma na on chiche mu ana se wadi hwea na wa kyere mu kakra machine bi afiri mu a o ka domestic abuse no e pese me bisa se empo time eye mmere ebetina ye domestic abuse ana adentina make us say obi afraid justice and law and also obi afraid law firm bi and also obi wa appointment bi na ebi a yahye onipa no say ebi a yamawo ewie dumi no and also yamawo donko na ebi a onipa no waba aba bedru ho ebi a meet edu answer na kan appointment na so MPP no behwe no na bia appointment na onipa no waba no ebe wi ase no na wabetwen bia konsima mienu which is 2 hours ebi kura wa obedi 3 hours obi timi di 1 hour na mi bisa se obi ewo appointment ewo baby a na onipa okọ na se okotena ase echa eno no eye time abuse ana na ede so na ya ekofa saade ne ba e pese wo kire me mu kakra
a time abuse the reason is unse abrochira asetena no obia ewo bibie so ho enti no say o run business accordingly no ese utimi schedule time properly said ya ososo waste obi time enti for example ubuku appointment say ubedru 12 There's a woman say, o secretary bebusa say, appointment no dear na wo babe. Justice and law says, oh babe application, we are allocate about 2 hours for you. Because roughly, application be take 2 hours. And he said, appointment a year 12 o'clock. You name so baby drew what 12. You best start at 12. Now your application a be 2 o'clock. To the next appointment you book a year from 2 o'clock. And say obi banas will be later. Ubo says any time, it will eat into the next person's time and no also problems. Because ebi any panel on about the right time. Say 12 hour about 12. When you say by 2 is so free. Now obia ebia I was say or no eba ebia 3 o'clock or not by 11:30. Now 11:30 about the be time. Eba sana also a lot of problems for clients. And this year saying, I'm going to say, we are not going to run business as normal. Say first, will be appointment here 5. Was ministry into me do 11. First, we were tolerating this sort. Also a lot of problem to some of our clients because it's not nice. And this year, what we have done, we say, any panel, we look at the appointment book, what time the appointment was. Say, will be a booking appointment for that slaughter. Say you have to rebook, and yes, sir, you have to wait until there is a space somewhere, and then we can fit you there. Because any say will be a book appointed slot. Now, after near Kwakachi say or no making, it's not nice, and it is not done anywhere. I know some of our clients sometimes they come from far, and those who come from far, this week can be happening, but I will thank them for applying wisdom. Omo free ready na chiro baby na no omo ba. Na omo ba no, omo ka break it down. And omo ka ni break it down and or far phone. As a matter of courtesy. Many lawyer were appointment 12 o'clock. By your time you cannot break it down. But still you perceive but because time and been. Not you see you free one. On my information no. And one your chance you say any time slot no. Ye manin shimu. You use that time, and the application, so at the time all your other arrangements in your or your existing client or most of the information the yenimono your friend no ebusano into bedroom office no your application every into buy no 10 minutes done into anyone's time. So that is the beauty of it. Na said you penifo obi nima obi chere because a ban is ano ama me so musia na ma pi efri ebi mo ho because anko obi aka ne ka break here no on frɛ mpo nka nkyerɛ obi appointment time no na waba oba so a opese waba ne de se de obi a wo ye bia no ugya na wo hwɛ no eye sa na emwa the way we want to run our business. And you know, a very good question, Obusano. We should not abuse our time. If all possible, I try na fire time and juma. Where it is not possible, I ring many penny who the AC. Na se bibi obet me aya fa ho or so et me aya fa ho. Na de asumdwe abrewu bia. Because if we are say there is no point to say obeye juma nyeska. Na why yare from stress na iska no untimi enjoy. And personally, I rather have my health and be poor than to be rich and be unhealthy. And na yeba shrepi e wom se mobile ho a adwuma na yeye mamo. E wom se enipa ho adwuma na yeye. Na se me pa me ye adwuma akofa yare ato me ho so de e na ka medi me hia. Because at the end of the day no, your health is your wealth. And so be ba eso nya koso de to na dwene mu se e wo se oye bibia wo a oba se ye adwuma ma no so na enkofa yare bi mrew because at the end of the day no ewi ase de na yepe no wi ase eye anigye ana yepe no wi ase asumdwie ana yepe no wi ase enti yanye bibia ye nyina no e de asumdwie ene anigye ebebre ye nyina. But I hope say me answer our question no.
Lawyer that medacity ene wadwen chere anase answer wo de ama. Until 2022 yenya enye loss ya mope se appointment awoko yenta manika sana lawyer we book appointment ekuhunu me GP date na ye de maame no anytime I de maame no me ye late 15 minutes man free madwe ye me say oh see 15 minutes there and you be say my appointment in the time ben and I'm say 2 o'clock and I'm be say time ben and I born I'm see 2:15 na bus no I stop it for the fact to say my friend woman no I notify woman no omo de me akwa kwhye June a year half of the year
yeah
just 15 minutes na my no in this scenario me test I foot to my yen Ghana for any Africa for yen na se MPP no se doctor ni wa lawyer ni wa teacher ni wa obi ni wa yen so yen ni ho sa so na yen so yen ni wa mo so mu ni ho enipa ho adwuma na ye mo mi ya ye yeso so hia mo na mo se ye de ye mere if it is out do buy ko school ni yese mu mpro 9 o'clock 8:50 near to gate no abofra after 8:50 the normal ticket why late into no send ye be ya wadwuma ebetum pon me so ni nipa na me ba won chen se me kwa ya resabia se empo plane na wokofro ye se plane be to 1:30 we se me ye late into me do 1:35 and now 1:40 into the me catch ye tiefo nyina se ye ka domestic abuse wadwuma mu po awo wo ye late wadwuma mu a who abuse employer no
yes
because there be a who ye late no 15 minutes late 5 minutes late oboabo ano a enka bosome no anase hourly no okani nyina bomu a e bia na the whole year no why ye late be abey almost about 50 hours they mark 10 pounds multiplied by 50 and so me say ye employer no and as o catch say e bia o me pese wo ye bibi mame in the next 10 minutes or 4 time o mpene enti ya sebio ye customer ye client eto mene bi wo wa yamfa ye mre emfa nye dwuma na yeso so aye ko hunu wom so no omo so moaye na sebio be nko tware ni fa so tware be nko na asundue e de aba e de mano bi sia
Pia yada wasi P Mr. Positive. Yami inshira. Tia me say every year ana abano. Yami aduma next week. You beat me as a issue. Tia me say every year. Yami aduma. Next week, we'll be back with more updates. We thank you. Next week, we'll be back. Bye-bye.
Papa mi amawi, mi odi damasi, eni ko ni aye, oni bawi ni aye, bada baye, eni simina so, mi nkari, mi ni nyina na tie ya.